5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we are. That's it. It says. No one cares. That's what my church says.
I'm asleep in the deep, asleep in the dark black sea. I call out your name, all I hear is the pouring rain. When you came into view,
Good afternoon, everybody. How are we doing tonight? Anybody out there watching? And hello, Jesse. How are you doing this evening? Good to see you made it over.
Not too bad. How are you doing?
Oh, not too bad. I come in from a deep, dark place from Mastodon. You heard of them, didn't you? I'm sure you did.
Heard of who?
Mastodon. It's a rock group.
Oh, I had not heard of them.
That's, we were listening to them on the intro.
But look what I found.
Oh, where's your mind? Oh, the camera?
The camera. Yeah.
It works.
Yeah.
Nice. Mine still works, but it goes out every once in a while. Don't have an expensive one. See? Hi,
Oh,
Jesse.
yep. Sure enough.
It does work.
I
So
got mine years ago on eBay, used for cheap. It's like 40
you-
bucks, I think.
yeah, I think I paid about $40 for the one I got now.
You trusted eBay. Wow.
Hey,
You trust
Ryan.
eBay? There's a monster up there,
Somewhere around here.
and we got Discord with us too. He's coming
What?
back. Sav's got him kidnapped right now. But he'll come over here after he's done.
Who?
Discord. He's still over on Sav's.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm not broken enough.
I'm gonna stop sharing this one. I was going to, before we got started with anything else, I was going to look at Elon's new ultrasonic plane that he's putting out. Oh, you want to look at it? I know you do.
More shit.
You want one of those things. You want to
No, we
fly forever.
You know how
Yeah,
you
you ever-
these make fucking rockets, Dave? You know the kind of rockets that you buy at the store? Those little fucking sugar rockets? You know,
Solid.
they for like fucking $2 instead of paying $17 a piece for them. You just literally mix sugar and fucking cat litter together. That's it. Yeah, that's what it says. And then you light it and it fucking burns. I was like, what? I guess you got to smash it together in the right quantities, but you need the long bar, Dave. You don't need to get one side open if you're just going to reach in and put the damn valve in.
Well, heck, just spend the extra little bit of money on the model rocket boosters that they sell you at the hobby store, man. That's what I did when I was growing up. I built a
That one.
Saturn V. I had one when I was like about 8, 9 years old. I put together myself. It had the
Like
3
we-
stages and everything. It was fun.
Especially the one you fucking super glue.
You always do the little countdown. They give you the cool little plastic station where you can hit the go button. The little countdown. Model rockets were fun. Did you ever do that, Jesse, when you were growing up?
Not too much, but I used to mix the stump remover with sugar to make little rocket engines. That was kind of fun.
Nice. Uh-huh. Yeah, I got into a short little debate on Facebook one day with some guy who claimed he was a rocket engineer, and
sawdust with like chemicals in it, right? Isn't that what it is?
yeah,
I'll be down in there and light it. And it's burning. It burns all. Yeah.
it's long burning solid fuel booster supposedly. Yeah. Well, I got into an argument with this guy, and he described how the rockets work to a point, and then I asked him, "How do you get thrust in space if there's nothing to thrust against?" And he said they get the thrust off the flame from the rocket. They push off the actual flame. And he never went into any detail. He disappeared after that. I just kept I wanted him to describe how it works. How does it get the thrust off of the flame? How does it push off of that? And I never really got an explanation out of it. Have you ever heard it explained, Jesse? Because I mean, I've asked this question.
I've explained
Break it down,
many times. Okay, let's break it down. How long do we have for this?
Oh, we got a show, dude. A couple hours if you want to. If you want to actually break down thrust in a vacuum.
Okay, I'll do my best. Remember, I'm a farm boy. I've got no education. I've got no.
Oh, dude, yeah, I got
diplomas,
more
no
respect for you than I do the guy I was talking to.
Well, anyway, I can stay probably about an hour, but then I got to get to bed and stuff. So
Okay.
I've had a little bit of a headache, and so I don't feel all that great. So anyway, but
Fixes the headache.
what's that?
You know what
Continue,
fixes
Ron.
the headache?
What fixes a headache?
What's that?
You're not gonna say?
A large hammer?
A large hammer, yeah. Cut your finger off, and then you won't feel a thing. After that, the headache will go away.
No, you
um,
just drop something on your toe. That usually does it. You'll forget all about your headache. Trust me.
Your toe hurt. Yeah, I've
That
heard it.
toe thing does work, bro. I'm telling you. I had a backache the other day, and then I dropped something on my foot by accident, and then I wasn't worried about the back pain at all, bro. I forgot all about it. I was more worried about my toe hurt.
Yeah, I've done that in the middle of the night plenty of times, walking out into the hallway. Boom.
I almost don't go anywhere without shoes on just for that reason, because I do not like stubbing my toes, bro.
Yeah, the biggest thing that got me was when I had kids. The world changed immediately.
Oh, yeah, you can't even walk. You can't walk barefoot, man. You gotta have slippers.
Nope.
Otherwise, you're stepping on Legos and jacks and balls and whatever the hell. Someone be fucking your foot up.
Well, when they get older, it gets worse. I think they set them on purpose so you step
Yeah,
on it.
when you get older, they start sewing and shit, and you find fucking pins and needles stuck in the carpet, bro. I know. I've had one rammed in between my toes before. It's not fun. And then I had to pull it out with a pair of needle nose because it was jammed into the bone. Yeah, it was not fun.
Nice.
And then I had to
Do we
put
have?
alcohol on it to make sure it's infected. I was so mad. I was like, God damn, son of a bitch.
Everybody's over watching Saab and they're watching Vlad, so they're not here right now. Maybe they'll pop by later.
They'll come in.
I think Saab's still going. Yeah, I'm just wondering. Yeah, so Jesse, please do explain how you get thrust off of a flame out of a oxygen generated flame in a vacuum. How does it keep a constant flame and you can actually push off of it?
Fucking be down to just reach there.
all right, let's
Don't worry about
see.
him.
Yeah, some of the
I do.
physics you already are familiar with.
I laid it
Oh, I
over the fucking, pushed down and stood on it, and then I reached in and grabbed the motherfucker.
Hey,
Is that
son,
right?
that's Ryan. Right, he's talking to his boy Dave there. Hey, Ryan, he's going to explain how rockets work in a vacuum. Hold on, let's hear him out.
Oh, okay. Great.
So, the principle is the equal and opposite reaction of forces of acceleration, right? So,
So we're
like
working on
if
Newtonian mechanics so far. That's where you're going with it.
absolutely. So,
Well,
let's say you and a buddy are on skateboards facing, away from each other, and you reach out and push him hard. That's going to send him going, say, 5 miles an hour one way, and you going 5 miles an hour the other way, assuming that you're about equal weight, right?
Mhm.
So we're on the same page there. You don't doubt that part of it, right?
Well, to a point. I mean, the principle I get. I got a grip on it. Yeah.
you're
Do
skating
you
on a rink,
do
pushing
you
away
have
from each other to do with the earth.
Yeah, I'm talking about rockets in a
right?
vacuum. He's talking about the Newtonian principle of for every opposite action, there's an equal reaction. So
But there's a
I
problem.
uh-huh.
There's nothing to push off of.
Oh, we'll
that's,
get there.
that's where you're going to go. That's the question.
Because there's no air.
Yeah.
Well, we'll get there. But I need to make sure that we're at least on the same page about the equal and opposite reaction thing with the skateboards, because if we're not in agreement there, then there's nothing we can do but go do some experiments, and you can find out that it's true.
I've actually seen what you're going with this. Pete and Peter have actually demonstrated your principle with balloons, and it. Let's see if I can put it this way. It's not you can't attribute thrust to what you think it is. It kind of seems like it would. Like if you release the air out of the balloon, right? The thrust is going to push it forward. It's I think it's more to do with the release of the pressure that pushes the balloon forward. But once you impede that, it stops pushing. They demonstrated this over and over again. Yeah.
Let's do it this way. You weren't born yesterday. You mentioned that to me yesterday. So
Well, I hope not.
yeah, tell me what the mainstream claim is for how rockets work in a vacuum, and then tell me which part of that you think is not true to reality. Which part of that principle?
The way it was explained to me by the so-called rocket scientists that I was talking to online was that they actually push off of the physicality of the flame, the pressure coming out of the rocket itself pushes off of the energy off the flame. Like it's not a. I don't think it's strong enough to propel a rocket through a vacuum. If you got any kind of propulsion off of that, that's what bothers me. How do you? It's a flame isn't solid enough. Maybe I don't. It is the mass of the gas is still behind the rocket as it's pushing it, and they're pushing
Right.
off of that. Yeah,
Well, so pushing off of the is kind of a colloquial
yeah, I know
way
what
to
you're
say
saying.
it. It's not really the a technically accurate way to say it. The accurate way to say it is that the rocket engine is accelerating the gas, and each gas molecule has mass. So each molecule that gets accelerated to supersonic speeds leaves the rocket at supersonic speeds and continues to fly indefinitely in space at supersonic speeds. So it's like the rocket engine is taking and accelerating each gas molecule in the opposite direction very fast, and that's what creates the opposite reaction. Is it's like imagine you're on a skateboard. I know you're tired of the skateboard, but it's
No,
something that
I
everybody.
was actually a skater. I was a sponsored skater when I was.
Oh, cool. Okay, so imagine you're on a skateboard in a level flat um, basketball court, empty, and you have a 50-pound sandbag you're holding, and you take and throw that as hard as you can in front of you. That's going to send you moving backwards a little bit, right?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
I get the principle, but what the mass of gas is going to propel you through a vacuum, but how long will that last? What are you pressing off of? That's what I'm trying to wrap my head around. Because after a while, there's nothing behind you between here and whatever your target is.
Well, I'm going to try to illustrate to you that you don't need to hit anything with the sandbag. You will be moving before the sandbag hits the ground. And your opposite motion compared to the sandbag is not because the sandbag hit anything. It's simply because you accelerated the sandbag, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I had to have an atmosphere to get any kind of friction, to get any acceleration. I need a demonstration in a vacuum. Do you understand what I'm saying?
But
This is
why do
where
you
my
need
mind's going.
why do you need an
Because
atmosphere to push on a sandbag?
well, that if I'm on a skateboard, I'm throwing a sandbag. I'm in an atmosphere. I'm on Earth. What I'm talking about is we're talking about the absence of any kind of friction at all. You're not going to get any friction in a vacuum. I'm going to go take you to the globe and its claim. It has to be an absolute vacuum or a near perfect vacuum for for your model to work to start with. Just from Big Bang to now, like the way it formed, the way it's developed, the whole 9 yards. I don't go with the half-assed. I can accept some of it and not accept the rest. So you have nothing you're pushing against. You're just free floating in a vacuum. Now let's go. I know we're taking off from Earth. We got the propulsion coming off of Earth. Once you hit that vacuum, how do you gain thrust off of just a flame and fuel coming out of it? There's, I guess they're creating their own matter in space with gas. They have something to press off of. They're pumping air from somewhere. They have to be, or pushing air or gases. I've only seen flight take place like that ever in my own eyes.
Does gunpowder have oxygen in it?
Does it?
Yeah, the rocket fuel has the oxygen and the
Oxygen.
fuel.
So
Yeah,
it's pushing
as a
out all
solid.
of that. So, but I mean, what is that pushing off of? In a vacuum?
Matter if
Once you're
it
going,
doesn't matter if it lights. The fact that it lights doesn't mean shit because as soon as it lights, it's going to infinitely suck any pressure out of it. It's not going to go anywhere.
yeah, I've seen rockets ignited in a vacuum before.
In all
So
directions as fastly as possible, and it's not going to go anywhere. If anything, it might go the opposite direction of the sucking. I don't know, maybe,
yeah.
but I doubt highly you're going to get any thrust at all because the only reason why you get thrust on Earth is because there's pressure. Without pressure, there's nothing to push off of, bro. Nothing.
That's where I'm.
No
That's where
air,
I'm going
nothing.
with it.
Infinitely
So
vast nothingness. Space.
what are they? What are they? What pressure are they pushing against? Yeah, that's a good point.
minus 17 or 4.
Yeah, yeah.
Negative
Uh,
17. I don't know.
well,
It doesn't seem like a lot, but it's a lot. When you consider that it's forever exhausting. That's what they claim. Now, I'm not claiming that's true. I'm claiming that's bullshit. I'm claiming there's water above your head. I don't think there's no space at all. But that's
Yeah.
just my opinion.
That's your opinion. My opinion is that there's definitely an area right there near our encasement that actually has a phase change that creates the pressure down here. Extreme cold and extreme heat between the sun and our container, if you want to call it that. But yeah, Jesse, is there anything other example you can give me that's
Extreme temperatures
Yeah.
that water has to do with. That's the reason why you can't travel away from it, because it's basically frozen, right?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Some kind of refrigeration effect on it, and the only thing that keeps it warm is the sun rotating around on top of it.
Mm-hmm. It's a great interview machine. Yeah. Okay, Jesse, let's go back. We're back with the flame in space, and we're pushing against what again? What are we? Where are we going?
Well-
How's that creating motion?
Yeah, listen, it's basic physics, which you can test yourself, and I can tell you how to test it yourself.
Basic physics.
But only if you want. If you want to learn it to where it makes sense, I can help you. But if you don't, then I can't help you. So I'm
I
not
don't
sure.
need help. I want your explanation. That's what I'm looking for.
One guy took an old washing machine and he sealed it and he turned it into a vacuum, and he put all kinds of stuff in there, and he tried to burn. He tried to burn all kinds of things. He tried to light fireworks and all kinds of things in there with laser, and he wasn't successful. Nothing would light on fire. And then when he finally got something to burn because it had an electrical fuse in it, it literally just shot a little bit of smoke in there, and that was it. And that was it. It just went and then went out. It didn't stay lit, bro.
Yeah.
It was fascinating, but it just doesn't do it. It just doesn't work. You know what I mean?
The idea that space is a vacuum has got to be insane. That's
washing
what I'm
machine for
looking
the
at.
rocket not to be able to actually push off of anything. And he proved it. He showed a fan blowing in there and everything. And as soon as he sucked the air out of it, the fan was still turning, but there was no air moving in there. So it wouldn't have mattered. The fan, you know what I'm saying? So in other words, what we're saying is that once you suck all the air out, bro, or even not most of the air, not even all of it, just most of it, once you get down below a certain amount of back pressure, you don't have anything, right? It's just not there. It just doesn't exist. And anything that comes in there only just keeps going into that place, right? But if you're in space, it's like twice as much the opposite pressure. And then you also have a massive, like billions and billions of light years of endless space that's been vacuuming forever and ever because of this explosion that supposedly happened billions of years ago, or whatever the hell you guys believe.
Yeah. Well, just to play devil's advocate right quick, he's saying they're bringing their own accelerant and oxygen with them.
Right.
The
And
oxygen,
yes, you can get it to burn because it has oxygen, but it still won't have any thrust. It won't. I've seen it tested. It doesn't do anything. It just shoots smoke inside of the tube. That's it.
Okay, so
it doesn't go anywhere. Now, if you put it in a small enough space, yeah. If you put it in a really tiny, tiny ass vacuum, then yeah, of course, the gases will start to escape from the rocket, and eventually it'll build up pressure because the vacuum can't suck it out fast enough, and then you'll get some pressure and it'll move a little bit. But it only does that because you don't have an infinite vacuum of space. But we have an infinite vacuum of space, but there is no argument. It would suck it away. There wouldn't be anything there. There would be no thrust. There might be some kind of a change in direction because of all the air being sucked out of it when the rocket went off, but I don't think it would go the direction you think it would.
yeah. So after they get,
it would literally be sucking it away as it was trying to come out. So it wouldn't be anything, it wouldn't have any air to actually pressured air to push off of it. It literally needs pressure in order to push off of it. That's the way it works, bro.
yeah. Well, that was what I'm trying to get to, the explanation of how do they develop that pressure with a flame behind the rocket. He's saying that they can. That's what the physicist or the rocket scientist that I was actually talking to was that was his explanation. He never went into any detail. I was trying to get some detail to add to it,
because they signed the damn contract and they can't say anything.
Yeah.
But
well, yeah, we'll talk on a colloquial level. We're talking now. We don't know the exact their formulas or anything or how they can do this. It's that's what I'm trying to get here with Jesse. I understand physics enough, understand the laws of motion.
Genius people in astronaut business, that should tell you something.
Oh, he's going with force equals mass times acceleration.
I'll
Okay.
take orders.
Yeah, that's just an equation, dude. I need a demonstration. That's really where I'm going to go with this. I've never seen a demonstration. I've seen people work with vacuums and do exactly what he's talking about. Even Pete and Peter actually made one of their own.
But it's dangerous as hell. I mean,
Yeah,
you can explode. It can. I mean, there's all kinds of things, bad things that can happen. This guy got hurt a few times. The glass broke a couple of times on his because he sucked too much air out of it, and it broke. And it caused damage to him and a bunch of other people that were in the room. The glass went in, and then it came back out again because it had so much pressure in there or something. It was weird. He said just blew glass in all their faces. They all cut on their face. I was like, dude. Luckily, it was tempered glass.
It's hard enough to keep a hyper jet in that high up too, because of how fast they go. You have to go that fast to get that high.
But now, how you would create an absolute vacuum like what's in space on Earth, I don't think that's possible. It's not. You would whatever you try to make it out of would just collapse because the pressure would be so great. Now, why it doesn't go through the dome, I don't know. That's a good question. I'm sure that'd be the next question you would ask if you know if I was giving you this line by line. But you'd probably say, well, what keeps it from getting us from? Well, there has to be a barrier, obviously, otherwise we wouldn't have pressure. So we don't know how the barrier works. We don't know what it's made out of. It might be a pressure beam. Who knows? But it's still a barrier blocking physically the air from the vacuum. If there is a vacuum in space, I don't think there is. I think it's water above your head. But and I think
say hi to your favorite Amos. He's in the audience.
The anomalies that we deal with on Earth is because we are underwater, and so there is a pressure. You know, we're under pressure because we're underwater, but we're also a bubble underwater, so there's some pressure buildup there. And you know, if you've ever pulled like a water or an air balloon and try to pull it down under the water, it doesn't work very good, does it? It's very, very hard to pull it down under the water because of the buoyancy, right? It literally will burst the balloon, right? Think about that.
Yeah, you're talking about basic RDD, like it's pretty simple. Free gravity,
suck all of it out in all directions, and you'd all be toast. You'd all be basically desiccated. You'd be beef jerky in seconds, bro. Your shit would boil right out of your skin, and you'd die instantly.
Yeah, Jess. I'm talking about in a vacuum. It doesn't. The physics don't work the same in a vacuum.
Instantly, bro. It would almost. I mean, I don't think it would happen instantly unless you were like not in a suit. But if you weren't in a suit, yeah, I think if you were exposed to gravity, I think your skin would literally. The water would come out of your skin. You'd boil. You'd boil, cold boil. Your whole body would cold boil. And that would kill you.
Yeah, I know that.
Bloodstream to kill you, bro.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you're going to need gas. That's no question. But
yes,
the question is,
gas escaping from the water in your body is very bad. Yes.
And I've watched plenty of demonstrations with it and plenty of vacuums.
Very bad, bro. Trust me. Just go look at anybody that's dealt with deep sea sickness and all that. You know, they get the bends or whatever they call it, and they depressure.
Okay, Jesse, do you have a vacuum chamber we could play with? If you want to test some of those laws out in a vacuum, they don't work the same. Oh,
actually, I do have a vacuum. I do have a vacuum chamber.
Yeah. Old refrigerator.
Okay, what's the lowest you've got your vacuum chamber to?
Oh, I don't know. I doubt I could get below 15 torr or millitorr or whatever.
Well, that's not a bad vacuum. It's not a cheap one, then, is it? So I've got a relative density test you could, disequilibrium RDD test you could do with it. You ever seen Action Lab?
Uh-huh.
You ever watch his demonstrations?
I was just watching how to make rockets for that cat litter.
Yeah, that's fun.
Sugar. I was no way. Like, how do you do? You have to like I kept thinking you'd have to crush the sugar down into smaller crystals, right, to get it to work right, or what? I don't know. Yeah. But I watched the whole video, but I was trying to check it out, but I didn't. Not why I want to buy it.
That's fine.
I want to build a big, huge rocket. I want to build one that'll go like all the way to the damn dome and smash into it.
Okay. I want to. Do you have your vacuum chamber in your hand, Jess? Like, is it in your room?
It's in my bedroom. Yeah.
How big is it?
5 gallons.
That's not bad. 5-gallon vacuum chamber. Is it a glass chamber, or do you have is it plexiglass, or what do you have?
It's stainless steel with a glass lid, a flat glass round lid.
Nice. Yeah, I've seen a lot of dome-shaped ones that they used back in the 80s and the 70s.
All you need is like a glass bowl, and then a piece of wood at the bottom, and then a really nice gasket, and then you drill a hole in the bottom. You put the valve through the wood in the board, and you can build up quite a good vacuum with just that, bro. And then a vacuum cleaner, or even you compressor sometimes. You just have to have a compressor that will suck and blow. But usually you just get an old refrigerator that works still, but like obviously has issues or whatever. It'll still it'll still compress air. It'll build up a lot of pressure, or it'll suck it out. Either way.
Yeah.
What
So
it does.
it would be really cool, Jesse, if you like take some solid rocket boosters and actually make a small demonstration in it. You can make it to scale. You don't have to
Now, what you
use
do, you take the little valve that's on the end where you air up like a ball. You know those ones, and you screw that
Yeah.
on the end, and you push it through, and then you screw that onto the end of it before you try, and then you pull that through with that. So that way you don't drop it while you're trying to shove it through the hole. Get me? You grab it from the inside and you pull it through that way. You screw something onto the end of it like that, and then you just pull it in once you get it through the hole. You do that way. Sorry.
Oh, he just sent me a link for his vacuum chamber. You want to take a look at it right quick? He's doing a little demo on it.
Yeah, what I did was I put my vacuum chamber on a sensitive scale and tared it, zeroed it, and then I pumped the air out of it and noted the reduced weight, and then tared it again, and then let the air back into it, and noticed that it got heavier when I let the air back into it. But anyway, that's my vacuum chamber, my biggest one. I have a smaller one, but that's the biggest one.
So that's a
So
5 gallon one. Yeah.
yeah,
So I mean, to get something to actually ignite and push thrust inside of the vacuum chamber would be the goal. That would be like, I understand how basically all the principles that you're spitting at me to start with work. It's just I want to see it work in a vacuum. And we've been
So-
asking for this for a long time. Like even from the National Space Agency, we want them to demonstrate how rockets work in a vacuum. They got Sandusky. We got one here at Iron Mountain. We would love to see a rocket propel itself through a vacuum. They could set up. They have their vacuum chambers are very large compared to what the normal ones are. So you could actually have room enough to get a rocket moving in it. You could even pressurize it when you ignite it, and then depressurize it and see how far it goes. Have you tried anything like that in your pressure chamber?
no, I just got it not too long ago, and I've been super busy. But why don't we come up with an experiment and a bet, and then table this topic, because you and I have drastically different ideas on what physical reality is, and I think that a physical test will come up on my side on physical reality. I think that equal and opposite reaction does take place inside a vacuum. So why don't we have an experiment like this and bet like $10? And I'm going to take, say, two marbles or two little BBs or something, two beads with holes in them, and put a little coiled metal spring between them, tied together with a cotton thread. Okay. And I'm going to suspend this in my vacuum chamber, pump it as low as I can get it, and then I'm going to cut the string with a laser. And if opposite and equal reaction is true in a vacuum, then the spring will push those two BBs apart and they'll go flying in opposite directions, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I get the laws of motion in a vacuum. That actually won't be impeded at all. But what we're talking about is a chemical reaction to cause thrust. That's
Okay.
what
Well, what if I use a larger mass and a smaller mass, so that the smaller mass is accelerated more than the larger mass in the vacuum with a little coil spring between them?
Yeah, I see what you're looking for, how it expends energy,
Well,
but
I might believe that they're going up there, but I don't
Right.
believe it just on the fact that they can't prove it.
and what your microphone is a little muffled. It's like we're not making out quite everything you're saying.
Mine or Ryan's?
Ryan's. He's
Oh.
I think he's on his headset, so
Oh.
it's like just if you came a little closer to it, you probably sounded a little bit better.
Am I
What
good?
up, dude?
You're good. Hey, that's where you're back.
Yep, we
I
just
see that.
ended
That's
over there,
beautiful.
and we linked. We told people that
Saw
we
it
were
again.
live over here as well.
Yeah, I got you. Cool. Well, thank you, Discord. I appreciate it.
Cool.
We got an anus in the house, by the way. He's
Song
the best
30,
anus ever.
but it's my damn low.
I see the wrong mic is on. Let me fix that.
Okay. Yeah. Well. Yeah. That's. I would make a. I don't know if I would make a bet on it, because that's not what we're looking for. I'm not looking for like Newton's laws of motion. I'm looking for.
We don't have money. I don't.
No, it's not about the money neither.
I know, but Well, we need to put out some good faith effort here to figure out where you and I differ on the laws of physics and where we agree, because we're kind of going in circles, right? So,
Yeah.
so
That's a different.
what's the difference then if I use a spring to accelerate a BB in a
Well, the whole-
vacuum, creating an
it's not-
opposite reaction, and if we
Then
use
then
gas
rocket
pressure?
fuel. Yeah. Well, I'm using rocket fuel actually being burned and actually making thrust in a vacuum. That's what they
Okay.
claim they do.
Let's
In order to
let's
travel through space, though, I don't understand. What difference would it make?
yeah, I have to go in 23 minutes, so we can
Okay.
make the best of it or whatever you like. But I have to go
Yeah.
at the top of the hour. So
That's fine.
Okay.
No rush.
Um,
I have another 2 shows
But I
next
do
week.
agree,
So.
Steve. If you can't decide on what reality really is and what your beliefs are, or what you can't nail them down, then I agree. We're never going to come to any kind of like conclusion or ever help each other, because then neither one of us are wrong this way, because we're both just imagining what we want to believe, right? Is that what you're saying? Is that must be what it is, right?
No, I'm
Not
just
at
looking
all.
for demonstration when I go.
Somebody has to be wrong and somebody has to be right, correct?
Yeah, there's
We
not
can't
two
both
truths
be wrong or both
involved.
be right, right?
Yeah.
Well, we can both be
Nope.
wrong, but we can't both be right, right?
Right.
So it's like,
Right. So,
yeah, I agree. If we can't decide on what reality is, like if you can't decide that, which way is up and which way is down, then yeah, we have a problem, because you're using theory in order to say that that's why you believe that, but you don't have any proof of it. So my argument is, well, if all you have is a theory, but I've got physical look, I've got stuff I can show you that I've got, and it shows it ain't curved, but you're telling me it is, based on that it only dips away from you when it goes straight away from you. When you look from the side, it doesn't curve. So you can prove that to yourself. Any artist knows this. Anybody who's taken art school or taken any art class knows about shadowing and about how things are supposed to look and the way light travels across an infinite plane. Do you understand? So there's no
It's called
argument here.
perspective. Yeah, I know. But
I don't know why you can't grasp reality, but I'm only sticking with what reality really is, with what I can prove and tangible, not what somebody told me they thought it was because they had a theory, because they really don't know. Because then nobody really knows then, right? If it's only a theory, then nobody really knows. They're just guessing based on an education, right? Fuck education. We all know it's bullshit. It's all bullshit. And we all know it.
yeah,
It's
I
all
like
the
playing with
convincing
toys. Don't get me wrong.
so that your mind will go there instead of going other places. It's to keep you under control, is all
I
it is.
think I got
And
you
you
wrong.
do that if you don't see the
You get me
whole
wrong.
picture.
I think I did.
Yeah.
What was that? That
I'm
you got
pretty
wrong?
sure I did. Oh, you don't want to know.
Oh, please tell me. I'm
Oh, no,
dying.
no, 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 no.
You,
Let's save the
you get me
people.
in
Let's save the
Did
people
you
those kind of things.
a, well, I think a real practical demonstration is do exactly what they say they do. If you really want to know, Jess, it's like let's launch a rocket and send it into a vacuum and get it to
We all
keep
know
thrust going.
NASA and our government had evidence to prove that the Earth was actually a ball, beyond the shadow of a doubt. That evidence would have already been put up. It would get put up on every fucking media place in the whole world, all at the same time. But they don't have that information, bro. That's the part
Well,
you don't get. You
they
just
did it
don't
back in
get.
'69, dude. They went to the moon. Don't you know that? They,
There's no
they
reality.
landed on it. It's a fact.
The
They
moon
have
rings
it
like a bell, man.
Ridiculous. You just don't get it.
What's wrong? So, what do you think, Jess? A practical rocket demonstration inside of a vacuum would be a real good experiment.
here's the problem, though. Let's say it showed acceleration, like I say it should. You would say, well, some gas
Don't jump to
escaped out of that.
conclusions, dude.
Oh, for Pete's sake!
Don't jump to conclusions. I'm not going to do that. I've seen the little tube experiment that they did with the pressurized gas and the little syringe, and everybody said, "Oh, it came out the side of the vacuum." That wasn't uh, what we were looking for. Just escaping gas. I want to see them making thrust in a vacuum with rocket fuel. That's what I want to see.
Well, what about using compressed air instead?
Compressed air.
Yeah.
How long do you think that would last in the vacuum of space? Though? All that air would, even if you fed it slowly, Would it develop enough thrust to keep a rocket moving through the vacuum of space?
No, I mean for my experiment, for my
Well,
test.
we could test that, but I want to test the burning rocket fuel in a vacuum. That's what I want to see.
Okay, let's say I make a tiny rocket engine that can
Okay.
burn for like a quarter of a second, and I
Right.
suspend it from a thread from the ceiling of the vacuum chamber, and then I light it with a laser. Okay,
hmm I've
and
seen this before.
okay, and it will accelerate itself, right?
I'm trying to recall what Action Lab did when he first put that out. What kind of reaction he got? I don't think he got much. It was a tiny bit. It wasn't very convincing, but yeah, if you can do more than that, that would be even cool. You could probably, if you put enough fuel in it, it should keep moving. You follow what I'm saying? It should keep propelling itself in a
Well,
vacuum. If that's the
well, well. I have a question though. When that little rocket engine lights, it starts spewing gas out its tailpipe, right?
yeah.
Okay. Now, let's say you release gas into my vacuum chamber. Will there still be a vacuum?
No, they won't. But if you have the chamber completely pressurized, but the thing is space actually like that, or how does it stay a vacuum like that? It
Because
has
it's
to have
very,
somewhere.
because it's big.
Oh,
So, but here's my question. If I do this experiment and it shows acceleration for the duration of the burn of the little rocket engine, are you going to
that,
discount it because the rocket engine produced gas which spoiled the vacuum? Or are you going to say that it produced gas and it was just pushing off of the gas that it produced in the vacuum chamber?
oh, can you like keep depressurizing the chamber while you're doing it? That would be even more validation for you. It would be a continuous vacuum. It would you can get to a certain pressure, but I mean keep it at that same pressure constantly. Keep the vacuum running while you're doing the experiment.
No, low vacuum pumps pump very slowly at low vacuum, and they could no way keep up with a rocket engine. Unless, if you were NASA, you could afford a big one, but I can't afford a big one. I'm using
Yeah.
stuff that I got.
Well, that's kind of why one of the reasons why we want NASA to do the demonstration. They got Sandusky here in Utah, right? I think it's where it's at. And then we got Iron Mountain's got one here. They have 6 foot thick walls with iron seals or steel seals on the door, so it's a real vacuum. Yeah, but I mean, it would be a start if you want to at least try that. We can look at it, but it's not going to validate NASA's claim what they're doing. But it's
Well,
a
no,
start.
but we're not trying to validate NASA. We're just trying to answer the question: would it be possible for a rocket to work in a vacuum? Right?
We're trying to get there. I want to see it in action. Yeah, I love this.
Okay.
With the kind of money they have, they could put everybody's doubts to rest right now about anything about it. They could actually just demonstrate it here. Nobody would be complaining about NASA, and right now they're getting audited for one thing because of all the catch-alls they get, or not the catch-alls, but the catch-22s, or not catch-22s, all the scams that they've been caught doing. They've been caught doing a lot of fakery to
So tell
keep
me
their.
this, if you kindly would: is it
Mhm.
is it that you doubt? And I'll let you know as soon as I'm done with the question. So and I hope I can finish it. It's not long. Is it that you doubt that it's possible for gas pressure to exist in a container in space, i.e., you don't think it would be possible to create a pressurized gas jet in space? Or is it you think even if it was possible to produce a gas jet in space, that it still wouldn't create a thrust?
Well, I'm just looking. You have to have something to thrust against. It's the what you're applying the force to.
So you don't doubt that it would be possible to create a rocket engine that could be run in a vacuum, right? You're just doubting that that would create thrust.
Yeah, you're getting it now. Yeah, it's the
Okay.
idea of what is pushing the thing,
Okay.
what's
Okay.
propelling
Fair enough.
it through.
So, what if instead of using rocket fuel, I used vacuum pump oil in a syringe with a rubber band, so that when I triggered it, the rubber band squeezed the syringe and it shot out vacuum pump oil.
You
And I
have some
filmed
strange
it.
ideas. Okay. Well, if
Well-
you want to, you can. You have that available. I get it. Yeah.
Well,
What
no,
you
hear
got.
me out. Because
Okay.
the vacuum pump oil won't boil in the vacuum,
Yeah.
it won't
I
spoil
was
the
going to say
vacuum,
the
right?
viscosity is going to keep the vacuum from. Yeah.
Right.
Well,
So that won't.
that's a start.
Okay. Would that be good evidence to you that a rocket could work in a vacuum?
Maybe. That's a. Well, I'd like to look at it first. And we could take it from there if you want. There's probably several different ways you can go about this, but I'm pretty sure that the thing above us are the skies above us are not a vacuum.
Oh, that's fair enough. This doesn't. I'm not trying to prove that they are. I'm just trying to address the simple question: would a rocket work in a vacuum? And I think you're saying that the fluid being ejected from the rocket engine, whether it's a gas or a liquid, has to hit something before a thrust is created, right?
Yes, and it would probably be the same with the fluid too. But you're going to create a disequilibrium between the two when you actually release the fluid from the syringe itself. It'll propel it forward. That's basically what you're saying rocketeering is, right?
Right. The rubber bands would squeeze the syringe shut, forcing the vacuum pump oil out. The vacuum pump oil would be the propellant, the mass that was being accelerated, and that would cause an opposite and equal force on the syringe, which would be the rocket engine.
Yeah. So do NASA rockets work like that? That's what I want to know.
Exactly. Didn't you know NASA ran on rubber bands? That's why Gary Wybenga has so many rubber bands.
Yeah, that's really funny. I wanted to show you a video while you were here. It's the Challenger, one of the Challenger missions that not the one that they, the ultimate mission, you might say, but they got caught back in the mid '80s, I think, with one of their shuttle missions. I thought you might find it interesting. Would you like taking a look at it right quick, Jess? It's actually NASA footage. It's their mission. They're launching the satellite with the Challenger.
Yeah, just shoot it. Yeah, shoot it to me on Discord if you can, and I'll check it out when I have time.
Well, I was going to review it right now. I got it queued up if you want to watch it.
Oh, okay. Is it super long?
No. I'm going to go about probably 1/3 of the way through this video. You'll see what I'm saying once we get started. I can actually cue it to where I want to go. But the setup is that this guy did with the video is pretty cool. You mind if I play it?
No, go for it.
Okay. This was definitely one of those moments that NASA wants to hide from. So I'm very skeptical of what they do. That's why I ask a lot of questions, because they've been caught with their hand in the cookie jar, you might say, too many times. I'm going to play it now. Here we go.
Just use cartoons. It's kinda insane that people believe cartoons. Do you wonder how they used to do it 30 or 40 years ago? Do you remember Thunderbirds? That basically shows it. It's just a bunch of tiny models in a dark room with some special effects. But at least Thunderbirds did a decent job, because in Thunderbirds you never saw a guy in the background showing up. So this video is an astronaut explaining the mission. It's not like practice footage or anything. Watch closely.
That was basically our arrangement. Dan sat in the pilot seat during this operation, sort of monitoring the motion of the vehicle, making sure that it was steady and that there were very few vibrations of any sort. Here's a picture of the INSAT actually being deployed from the spacecraft. You can see that the deploy went very smoothly. At the moment of deploy...
Did you see it? in the background? There was a guy in the background, man. I'm not kidding you. You can't deny that that's someone in the background. There's a guy moving in the background. Here, watch it again. Watch it closely. I looked up, or I tried to look up the size of this rocket. I found this picture. You can see it's massive. So if that rocket is in space and if there's a guy in the background in that footage, that means that there are like giants, but like insane big giants floating around in space looking at NASA. That's probably why they don't dare to go back to the moon and why they hide so much stuff. Space is full of giants. Well, NASA,
Space
this
troll.
video was a lot of fun to watch. There's a lot of weird things in this. Let's keep watching a bit more of this.
About a minute, 20 seconds after deployment, you could see some of the jets on the spacecraft
Here you can see how they switch on the light of the Earth.
associated with the spacecraft.
It's kind of funny, isn't it? How do you explain all this shit? But at least you can see that the Earth is a ball. At least they are not hiding the shape of the Earth. Or maybe is it a fisheye lens? Oh, the satellites start to spin for the video. Well, at least we see it's a ball, you know. It's even more a ball when it goes down. And it doesn't look like it's in outer space, it looks like high altitude at most. These old videos are a lot of fun to watch. Anyway, I showed you what I wanted to show you. Thank you for watching my video again. And by the way, I found a cool place where I can buy helium. So I'm not gonna launch a balloon or anything, but I have a pretty amazing idea in my head that I want to try for a long time already. I think I will have a video soon with my little helium project. I hope I can do it. More about that soon. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.
Yeah, what do you think, Jesse? That was a nice little video. Did you catch the giant in space?
Yeah. Do you know what the mainstream explanation is, and what's your rebuttal to that?
I don't know. What is the mainstream? I've never got a rebuttal to anything. I never got an explanation for it. There was a guy in the studio where they were filming this, and you caught him in the picture. There's not a rebuttal to that question at all. That's just what just happened.
It looked to me.
I can show it to you again.
No, I saw it. It looked. Can I tell you what it looked like to me?
Okay.
It looked to me like the camera was inside a window, and there was a person inside the window, and the person was moving around in there, and the camera picked the person up in the reflection of in the window that they were both looking through. That's what it looked like to me.
Well, did you look behind that guy? You saw there was actually another guy behind that guy.
There
Here, I'll
could have
show it
been
to you again.
there could have been several people watching through the window. I'm not sure I understand the significance.
Yeah, obviously the light glow from the lighting was on his forehead from outside. You can see it on his forehead. And how did that happen?
Well, there was a lot of light reflecting off that white vessel, right?
Yeah, he's standing outside of the model. That's basically what we're getting at. I'll take it back there. We'll look at it closer if you want to tell me how that happened. So I'll get right to the. He goes through it like 3 times in this video.
To go back to the moon and why they hide so much stuff. Space is full of giants. Well, NASA, this video was a lot of fun to watch. There's a lot of weird things in this.
See if I can take it back a little bit further. There we go. Right there. That's a good
Is that
spot
there
to
are
shoot
like
You're not sharing your screen anymore.
Okay, it just says it's sharing, so I think I'm sharing. So.
Yeah, I
Looks like I'm
still
sharing.
see it.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm sorry. I was looking at the wrong thing.
that's all right.
Oh.
I don't know why there has to be an explanation when you see somebody outside. That's a reflection off of glass from the camera.
Down in space looking at NASA. That's probably why they
So all
don't
that in the
dare
background
to
there
go
is a
back to the
reflection
moon and why they hide so much stuff.
off the glass that they're filming out of. That
like
right there.
giant. Found this picture, you can see it's massive. So if that rocket is in space and if there's a guy in the background in
See the
that
shadow on his
footage,
face?
that means that there are like giants, but like insane big giants.
That came from whatever he's behind right here, off the tailpipe. Do you see what I'm saying?
I see what you saw, but I don't see what you're seeing. It looks to me like the camera and
space coming.
people were inside looking out the window and they were seeing the reflection of the people in the glass.
See that shadow right there? See the shadow on his forehead?
Yeah, I see it's a dark area.
It's definitely a shadow. That's nothing but a shadow. It's right across his face. I don't know how you get that kind of reflection off of glass. That's
Well, I'm an
kinda
amateur
weird.
photographer, so I've dealt with reflections on glass a lot. So that's what it looks like to me. So take it or leave it.
Okay. But then why did he move so quickly? Like he was in view. Let's go. Watch
In the
how fast he
background
goes.
in that footage, that means that there are like giants, but like insane big giants
bleed
floating
through on the
around in
shuttle either.
space looking.
It didn't bleed into this.
Actually, it almost looked like it did.
Well, let's look at it again.
It wouldn't be. Yeah, it did. It wouldn't be as visible
To
because it's
look
a
up
brighter
the
background.
size of this rocket.
did.
I
See,
found
it
this
did.
picture. You can see
Oh,
it's
I didn't see it.
massive.
Hold on.
So if that rocket,
Look in the dark.
At the
See
moment of
that
the
dark spot
did you
on the
see
wing
it
edge?
Where
in the
the blue
background?
is? Yeah.
There was a guy in the background, man.
Okay, I'm watching.
I'm not kidding you.
See
You
right there, you
can't
can see it
deny
flash
that that's
across the wing.
someone in the background. There's a guy moving in the
Not
background.
exactly. No, it's
Here, watch
pretty-
it again. Watch it
The
closely.
light's too
I
predominant.
looked up, or I tried to
Okay,
look up
here,
the
go ahead and
size
pause
of
it.
this rocket.
Yeah,
I
hold on.
found
How could you?
I went too far, and I actually skipped to the next thing. Jeez. Then hit the pause button. All right. All right. Let's play. Where are we at? It's not going to play now. It's not.
Well, just
there you
seek
go.
to about where you were. I need you to point your mouse. Okay, right there. Pause
giants,
it right.
but like
there.
insane big.
Okay. I see him
Okay.
right here. That's his
Okay.
reflection right there.
Okay, hold your mouse real still.
Okay.
Okay, see that dark area just below the mouse?
Okay. Hold on.
Just
Right
Okay,
here's what
right-
you're talking about. Right here.
right, and then just down a little bit. See in the wing that dark area? Oh, your mouse
Okay.
keeps disappearing for me.
No,
Oh,
it's-
okay,
It's in the
just-
same spot.
Yeah. Okay, go down just a tiny bit. Yeah, right down a tiny bit. Right there. See that dark area you're pointing at? I can see it in there. And now go to the left and down to that dark line and dots.
Down to the left, and where these dark
Right
lines
there,
and
right
dots
there.
are. Yeah.
Yep, and
Okay.
I'm seeing him in there also. You have to watch there, but you will see it.
I'm watching right there. Okay.
Okay, watch
I'll
right there
watch
and
right
play.
Okay.
Giants floating around in space, looking
It's
at
kind of
NASA.
translucent. Yeah.
That's
a bit.
that's probably why they don't dare to go back to the moon and why they hide so much.
Yeah, it's not translucent. It's just reflecting in the same window that the camera's looking out.
So,
That's
yeah,
all
but
that's happening.
Here's the next thing I'm going to ask. Like, how is he moving so fast?
Well, he's right by the camera. Take your cell phone out.
No, I'm talking about 0G, dude. Like, how is he moving so fast?
Well, he's holding on to the hand grips. Zero G
well,
doesn't keep you from moving fast. It just keeps you from falling fast, right?
Yeah, let me.
That's
let me
someone
see
in
this
the
again.
background. There's a guy moving in the background. Here, watch it again. Watch it closely. I looked up, or I tried to look up
He's
the
doing it
size
over and
of
over,
this
so we're
rocket.
trying to catch
I
it.
found this picture. You can see it's massive. So
It doesn't seem to go all the way through.
Well,
To
it
the
wouldn't.
white.
It wouldn't,
Yeah.
but it is
I
showing
mean,
up
if,
on.
if that's a reflection off of glass, you follow what
Okay,
I'm saying.
let
If
me
the
ask
white's
you
so
this.
bright that it bounces off of the shuttle, that it's going to cause a reflection, right? So it's basically like a mirror. It's going to mirror it. It would be more predominant where the white is, where the outside it would be more clear. You
Well,
follow, like, yeah,
no.
instead of like. Go ahead.
Faint things show up better with a black background than with a bright background.
Oh, you get a call. Anyways,
No, it's my go to bed alarm. It's 10 o'clock here, so Well, anyway,
Okay.
it's been a pleasure, Roger. I'm going to leave a
Okay.
few comments for you in the YouTube that I was hoping to say live, but didn't get a chance to. And it was a pleasure, and I look forward again if you invite me. But
Okay.
I got to take off tonight, so you all have a wonderful evening.
Okay. Night, Jesse.
Good
You
night.
too.
Night. I want to go back over this again while he's gone.
Yeah.
You can't deny that that's someone in the background. There's a
Yeah,
guy moving in the
kind of does have
background.
a
Here,
reflection right
watch
there
it
with his
again.
nose.
Watch it closely. I
Spacecraft, you can see that the deploy went very smoothly. At the moment,
Then we got a reflection here.
Did you see it in the background? There was a guy in the background, man. I'm not kidding you. You can't deny that that's someone in the background. There's a guy moving in the
Yeah, I see what
background.
he's talking
Here,
about.
watch it again. Watch it.
That's a guy's reflection.
In the background.
Yeah, watch. Pay attention again.
I know the guy on the
Right
right.
here. Right here. See that? Right. See where he
Yeah,
is
that
right
guy I
here?
know, yeah. Oh, okay, I see the nose going through.
Somewhat through the white, but it's not as
In the
clear as
background. There's a guy moving in the
but it's
background.
only
Here,
prominent
watch it
off the
again.
white.
Watch it closely. I
Wait.
looked up, or I tried to look up the size of this rocket. I found this
No.
picture. You can see it's massive. So if that rocket is in
Yeah, I got what he's saying about it.
I just
Did
don't know
Ryan take off?
how the
Yeah.
thing looks so extremely fake, and I don't even know how anything would make that be real. None of what we just talked
Yeah.
about. It's still just complete unreal looking.
Mhm.
I don't feel
It is.
no.
But I think that was they didn't want to get that shot with the guy in the picture. That's why he moved out of the way. But I
Yeah.
don't think he was back behind the shuttle. So I think it was caught there. But
Yeah.
it still hasn't proven anything necessarily. That just shows that Geo Shifter took that and he thought he saw something.
Yeah.
And he put some comments in the YouTube that he wanted to give me while we were online. Let's see. Let's go to
Okay.
the live stream and take a look at them. I gotta open it up. Okay, from Jesse. That's the only comment he wanted to make? Okay, that's good. Well, the brighter the light, it would be harder to get a reflection off of. That's what he's trying to say. Yeah, but the guy's not necessarily in the background. That was just an opportune moment that GeoShifter took. So, Discord, you're still here with me, and everybody else is gone. We've been on an hour.
Yeah. That's how it is.
Well, I guess Ryan took off for some reason.
Yeah.
Oh, he's got another one. Yeah, I get that too, Jesse. But I want to see it. They're already Let's see, the fact that accelerating mass always creates an opposite force. Well, I want it demonstrated in a vacuum. That would have been the whole point to it, and that's what I'm trying to get to, and especially the way they do it. I wanted to know how rockets work in space. Anyways, if next time you come, we'll talk about that again. I'm going to take a hiatus. I'll be back in a second. Oh, you're still here with me this word? Of course. Ah, the Cookie Monster is not back yet.
Yeah. Was that a flush in
I
the
was wondering.
background?
Oh yeah, it was. How'd you guess?
Because it sounded like a real man flush. You know,
Man,
like it was.
you
It
just push a handle.
sounded like a Ferguson.
A Ferguson. No, I think it's an American standard.
you, you know the Al Bundy from Married with Children.
Oh yeah.
That TV show.
So
Yeah, yeah.
let's read through some of Jesse's comments.
Oh
Ryan
yeah.
wouldn't give him a chance to talk.
Let's do that.
All right, let's see. We'll start with his first one. He said, Roger Level, the case of rockets and the mass acceleration is in a gas. Gas has mass. Scuba tanks. Yeah, I've already heard this argument. Gas has mass with you so far. Uh, let's see. And you are denying the opposite forces of 1 pound of fuel expelled for 100 miles. I didn't deny anything at all. Did you hear me deny that? 1 pound of rocket fuel will get you 100 miles. So let's say if you had 1 pound of rocket fuel, right? You can go 100 miles on it with the propulsion. Okay. All right. And see what. Let's see. Let's try another one. What else did he say here? Roger Lidwell, if you deny the laws of basic physics, you should try finding evidence of it and not always holding. Holding what? Not it. Evidence of it. Yeah, that's what I was trying to get to. I wanted to get the evidence. That's what I was talking about. And we'll see this next one here. It always holds. Force equals mass times acceleration. Use it all the time. Most basic laws of physics is not wrong. Okay. So if you just release fuel in space without burning it, it'll create thrust. You just release the pressure. That's it. All right. And then let's go with this one. That's why we need to come up with some way to prove force equals mass times acceleration in a vacuum. Yeah. I wanted to get a demonstration of rockets in a vacuum. I know you're an honest person. When we have the time, we'll talk about practical ways we can test your claim if it fails. Okay. And what's the last one I got from him? I said force. If 1 pound expelled the rocket fuel, velocity, not distance. Okay, so when you're going to velocity, you will cover a distance. The idea to get the velocity is to get a distance. That's basic physics. Okay. Now, how you doing, Discord? You're still here with me? I want to look at Elon's latest endeavor. Is what I'm going for next. It didn't take yeah, I hear you. It still hasn't proven anything yet. No, you ready to look at Elon's latest airplane project he's got? This man's all over the board. Have you seen it yet?
I'm never ready to see something about Elon, so nope.
He's got a $13 billion aircraft that defies the laws of physics.
Yeah, they are bullshit physics.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm trying to get to the physics in the space vacuum. Well,
Like
I'm
gravity.
gonna play it.
Yeah, that's a thing.
Yeah, I know.
That's
All right, let's play it. Let's just check him out for a second.
Yep.
Ain't gonna hurt nothing to look. Doesn't that look cool? You think
That
that's the real thing?
looks like a computer game or something.
It does.
Very much like a computer game. Oh, that is a
That's supposedly the plane.
yeah. That doesn't look real.
It,
Hypersonic flight is the next big leap in aviation, offering speeds faster than the speed of sound and leaving no trace behind other than a loud bang. Imagine
Whoa.
cutting a flight from New York to London down to just 90 minutes. While
Who's
companies
filming
like
that?
Hermes are pushing the
I
boundaries
don't
of
know.
what's possible.
He's
In a
just
same
hanging
people
there
that
with a
filmed-
camera.
Elon Musk's SpaceX
Yep.
is
If you
rumored
go
to be
back, you
working
can
on
see
a
how he
top-secret
even, you know,
project that could
he even
revolutionize
follows it with the
hypersonic
camera,
travel.
moving it up and shit. You know, like he's hanging there
Leap in
filming.
aviation,
He's doing a good job too.
offering
Yeah.
speeds faster
Yeah, he is.
than the speed of sound.
Well,
and
animation is a
leaving
good
no
thing.
trace behind
Check
other
this.
than a loud bang. Imagine cutting a flight from New York to London down to just 90 minutes. While companies like Hermes
Camera
are
angle
pushing
goes
the
up
boundaries
with
of what's
the.
possible. In a
Yep.
surprising twist, Elon Musk's SpaceX is rumored to be working on a top-secret project that could revolutionize hypersonic travel. With
Unveil
Musk's
it.
track
Come on.
record of turning ambitious ideas into reality,
He just
could
got
his
some
latest
nice
venture be the
AI
breakthrough we've
generated
been waiting for?
CGI.
What does this mean for the
Oh,
future
yeah.
of air travel and global connectivity? Join us to find out if Elon Musk's hypersonic jet defies the speed of light. The quest for hypersonic flight represents the next frontier in aviation, promising to revolutionize
Whoa.
air travel and reshape global connectivity. While commercial planes typically
Now, how rigid would that have to be to travel at that speed? That's insane. Well, what like the Blackbird, it literally almost falls apart, and they can pretty much maintain it like that at the speeds it goes.
cruise at around 550 miles per hour, hypersonic flight aims to achieve speeds of Mach 5, which is about 3,836 miles per hour or higher. At these velocities, a journey from New York to London could be completed in just 90 minutes, drastically reducing current travel times.
Atlantis.
Companies like Hermes,
Yeah, I know.
Stratolaunch, and Hypersonics are at the forefront of this technological race. However, a surprising development has captured global attention.
Yeah,
Elon Musk
the whole thing is we've got this whole high altitude thing. Basically, that's all we've got proven so far. I want to see this vacuum they're talking about, and how can you
See,
fly
I
in
don't
it?
know.
This,
I think it's crazy people care so much about those fast flights and stuff, because
Mhm.
you ain't gonna get one. And yes, we could go check anything if we had one of those, without them having time to stop us. But we ain't gonna get one of those. We can't even fly one unless it's controlled. It's so typical.
yeah, he's still going on about the skateboard thing too. If I push that off, it because that bag accelerates away from me, it creates a force. I got that. I wasn't saying it didn't. He thinks that that's going to work in an environment where there is no pressure at all. That's my issue. You follow?
Mm.
That's why I want. That's why I want a demonstration in a pressureless environment of the thrust working. That makes sense. Just saying.
Yeah, but I mean,
Yeah.
I don't. Haven't we seen all those? What's they called? It's like a fish tank, but not a fish tank. A little glass tank or something.
Yeah. They,
With flies
they make
inside
a
it.
they make a vacuum. Yeah.
Yeah, flies inside it, and then you remove everything, all the air and whatever from that container, and they just drop down, and they can't even move. Well,
Yeah.
they can't
You
move
can't
around at all.
maintain flight. Yeah.
Yeah,
It,
and they turn
especially
it
like
up
even
and down, up
the
and
shuttle.
down,
Yeah.
and see how
The
they can
shuttle
move a
flew way
little
beyond
more.
the
Hmm.
yeah. The shuttle flew beyond the Kármán line, right? It got to the actual point where the vacuum starts, right? So the shuttle itself in flight that high up was it 250 miles up. How does it maintain flight? How do you maintain a satellite at that level?
Yeah,
How does it stay? But it's locked into a gravity, is what they say.
Mm,
It's
yeah,
flying. It,
that,
it has velocity. I get the velocity. They have to get maintain that velocity to create a constant fall, right?
mm. But if there's nothing to really push on, it's confusing.
Well, if they're saying they're throwing it infinitely fast, right? Until it gets
Mm,
into that sweet spot where it just completely falling constantly, and it just keeps its momentum. So they're using Newton's laws of motion, saying the satellites stay that way. There's no degrading of those orbits. Doesn't make any sense to me at all. Entropy would kick in, and you would degrade your
it's too
orbit. The
weird.
energy would be expended eventually. You follow? Then it would
Mm.
start catching friction if there's gas escaping into the vacuum into the open system of Earth. You would eventually slow down. We're talking
Yeah,
years, dude. Now, how many years has the ISS been in orbit?
I don't
Think
know.
about it.
I never
This is
cared
like the
about it.
17th, 18th year it's been in orbit at the same altitude. And
Right.
now they're gonna pull the plug on it now. Like we're just gonna blow it up. Like they're
Right.
gonna sink the ship. Yeah. No.
Who does that? That makes no sense.
Yeah. Oh, that whole Challenger thing where he pointed out the reflection didn't take the wind out of my sails. You know what I'm saying? Uh, and I'll have him back on. I'm
Yeah.
going to keep going with this kid, and he wants to do
Why not?
a vacuum chamber experiment with marbles and springs. That's going to prove that you can have motion in a vacuum. I didn't say you couldn't have motion in a vacuum. It's how do you continue that motion in a vacuum?
Yeah. It's kind of like imagining it's you in a pool in the middle of a pool that you're hanging in the air and there's no water. How do you swim?
Yeah, you just fall.
You're just hanging there
There's
magically in the middle. We are imagining right now, or in a string that can move with you. And how are you swimming in no water in that pool?
yeah. Now I know why Elon's building his rockets like this. You see what he's doing with these things? You see those shark fins he throws on the sides of it? He's flying the things out to wherever they're going. He's getting further shots. He's shooting those rockets further out. I've never seen him recover one of those things yet, neither. So
No.
he's just. Now I'm going to show you where Elon got his name. Just since we're on the Elon topic, you know where Elon got his name from? There's a guy named Warner von Braun. You ever heard of him?
Yeah. Are we going
Okay, Warner von Braun.
the story?
Whoa.
The
Oh,
old story?
this is a true story. That's I'll show you. It's kind of cool. Elon's parents, you know who they are, right?
I don't remember names, but yes, I've heard about the father a lot too. He was an
Yeah. Well,
evil person. And they're from South Africa.
well, yeah, he's a politician in South Africa. He's a South African politician. Well, his parents named him after a character in a book written by a guy named Elon Musk. You ever heard of him? No, not Elon Musk. Sorry, Warner von Braun. Warner von Braun wrote a book in 1947 about a guy who built
The guy
a rocket.
Elon and Mars,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, he's the captain or the head of the Mars project to colonize Mars.
Yes. That I know
It's
about.
Project Mars. Yeah, so that's where the character or his name. That's where his parents got the idea to name him. And all of a sudden, what this is like probably 70 years later. This is actually happening in real time. He's launching things for Mars. I'm looking. I
Yeah.
need to get the book. Yeah. So there's no irony there at all. Now, here's the book.
It's all it's all right in your face.
Yep. I'm trying to find the actual book. Yeah, there's a little clip here. It's called Project Mars. I'll just play it. It's kind of cool, but I'm pretty sure that he talks about the book. We'll go back to the plane in a minute, but they're starting off with the moon landing thing.
Almost 50 years since humans walked on the surface of the moon? Of course you do. Anyone who loves space exploration obsesses about the last Apollo landings and counts the passing years of sadness. Sure, SpaceX, Blue Origins, and the new NASA Space Launch
They're
System
going to
rocket
get to it or not.
offer a tantalizing future in space. But
Well,
50
after
Oh,
a
here
lot
it
of
is.
good,
ouch.
great
Here we
old
go.
NASA stuff, we'll get there.
Yeah, here we go. Yeah, I didn't want to go through all that, but here's the part with the Nazi rocketeer. They go into the book after this.
Was originally a German rocket scientist, pivotal to the Nazi rocket team, which developed the ballistic V-2 rockets. These unmanned rockets could carry a 1-ton payload 800 kilometers away. They were developed in 1942, and by 1944, they were being used in their war against Allied targets. By the end of the war, von Braun coordinated the surrender to the Allies, as well as 500 of his engineers, including their equipment and plans for future rockets. In Operation Paperclip, the German scientists were captured and transferred to the White Sands Proving Ground in New Mexico, where they would begin working on the US rocket efforts. Before the work really took off, though, von Braun had a couple of years of relative downtime. In 1947 and 1948,
Here you
he
go.
wrote a science fiction novel about the human exploration of Mars. The novel itself wasn't published right away because it was terrible, but it also contained a detailed appendix containing all of the calculations, mission parameters, hardware designs to carry out this mission to Mars. The appendix was way better than the novel. In 1952, this appendix was published in Germany as Das Mars Project, or The Mars Project, and an English version was published a few years later. Collier's Weekly magazine did an 8-part special on the
Look
Mars
familiar?
Project in 1952, captivating the world's imagination.
Nope,
With a little Googling, you should be able to get your hands on the original Mars Project book or
Not
the
even a
Collier's
little.
magazine, and I'll put a link in the notes. Enjoy the book. So here's the plan. In the Mars Project, von Braun envisioned a vast armada of spaceships that would make the journey from Earth to Mars. They would send a total of 10 giant spaceships, each of which would weigh about 4,000 tons. Just for comparison, a fully loaded Saturn V rocket could carry about 140 tons of payload into low Earth orbit. In other words, they'd need a lot of rockets. Von Braun estimated that 950 three-stage rockets should be enough to get everything into orbit. All the ships would be assembled in orbit, and 70 crew members would take to their stations for an epic journey. They'd blast the rockets and carry out a Mars home and transfer, which would take them 8 months to make the journey from Earth to Mars. The flotilla consisted of 7 orbiters, huge spheres that would travel to Mars, go into orbit, and then return back to Earth. It also consisted of 3 glider landers, which would enter the Martian atmosphere. and stay on
33.
Mars.
Yep.
Once they reached the red planet,
Go
they would
bigger.
use powerful telescopes to scan the Martian landscape and search for safe and scientifically interesting landing spots. The first landing would happen at one of the planet's polar caps, which von Braun figured was the only guaranteed flat surface for a landing. At this point, it's important to note that von Braun assumed that the Martian atmosphere was about as thick as Earth's. He figured you could use huge winged gliders to aerobrake into the atmosphere and land safely on the
Didn't that
surface.
change?
He was wrong. The atmosphere on Mars is actually only 1% as thick as Earth's, and these gliders would never work. Newer missions like SpaceX's Red Dragon and Interplanetary...
No, but they got a helicopter to work on Mars. Did you see that?
That's a good one.
Yeah,
It must be spitting out air from its own machine and stuff.
it carries its own air pressure with it, just like the rockets do.
It got some very highly compressed kind of air type, that it just sprays out onto the propellers and stuff.
I got
That
you.
must be it. Yeah.
It's got to be real.
A transport ship will use rockets to make a powered landing. But I think if von Braun knew this, he could have modified his plans to still make the whole thing work. Once the first expedition landed at one of the polar caps, they'd make a 6,400-kilometer journey across the harsh Martian landscape to the first base camp location at the equator. And then they'd build a landing strip. Then the 2 more gliders would detach from the flotilla and bring the majority of the explorers to the base camp, and a skeleton crew would remain in orbit. Once again, I think it's important to note that von Braun didn't truly understand how awful the surface of Mars really is. The almost non-existent atmosphere and extreme cold would require much more sophisticated gear than he'd planned for. But still, you gotta admire his ambition. At this point in the story, von Braun's Mars adventure
And that said it all. In this point of the story, here we go.
adventurers have set up shop on the surface of the red planet, and shortly, I'll let you know the thrilling conclusion. First, though, it's time to thank a few of our amazing patrons. Matt Dalby, Trip Bishop, Tom Harshman, JM Autobot, and the rest of our 731 patrons for their generous support. If you love what we're doing and you want to help out, head over to patreon.com/universetoday. With the Mars exploration team on
How
their
about that?
way,
That looks
their first
familiar.
task was to turn their glider launchers into rockets again. They would stand them up
Oh, yeah.
and get them prepped to blast off from the surface of Mars when their mission was over. The Martian explorers would set up an inflatable habitat and then spend the next 400 days surveying the area. Geologists would investigate the landscape, studying
It looked
the
like a
composition
space
of the
needle.
rocks. Botanists would study
Yep.
the hardy Martian plant life and see what kinds
Well, the
of
funny thing about that, on the cover, they put that one on there, but Warner didn't like it. He wanted it more round. It looks more like the new cover they put out. Looks like the Falcon X, the Heavy. It's almost identical to it. So why hasn't any of this happened? You follow?
Yeah.
It's a made-up story, dude. They're just playing a narrative out. That's all they're doing.
Earth plants would grow. Zoologists would study the local animals, of course, and help figure out what was dangerous and what was safe to eat. Archaeologists would search the region for evidence of ancient Martian civilizations and study the vast canal network seen from Earth by astronomers. Perhaps they'd
Up
even
the stage
meet
in
the
your
hardy
mind,
Martians that
and
built
then they
those
set up
tunnels,
the stage for your
struggling to
eyes.
survive to this day. Once
Nice
again, in
CGI,
the
though.
1940s, we thought Mars would be like Earth,
Mhm.
but more of a
Uh-huh.
desert. There'd be plants and animals and maybe even people adapted to the hardy environment. With our modern knowledge, this sounds quaint today. The most brutal desert on Earth is a paradise compared to the nicest place on Mars. Von Braun did the best he could with the best science at the time. Finally, at the end of their 400 days on Mars, the astronauts would blast off from the surface of Mars, meet up with the orbiting crew, and the entire flotilla would make the return journey to Earth using the minimum fuel Mars-Earth transfer trajectory. Although von Braun got a lot of things
I want to see that.
Let's
The
ask.
minimum.
Yeah, let's ask ChatGPT if we can get some content.
Oh, yeah.
wrong about his Martian mission plans, such as
Don't go
the
to
thickness
Mars.
of the
They'll eat you.
atmosphere and the habitability of Mars. Got a lot of things
They're
right.
hungry.
He anticipated a mission plan that required the least amount of fuel by assembling pieces in orbit using the Hohmann transfer trajectory, exploring Mars for 400 days to match up Earth and Mars orbits. He developed the concept of using orbiters, detachable landing craft, and ascent vehicles used by the Apollo moon missions. The missions never happened, obviously, but von Braun's ideas served as the backbone for all future human Mars mission plans. I'd like to give a massive thanks to space historian David Portree. He wrote an amazing book called Humans to Mars, which details 50 years of NASA plans to send humans to the Red Planet, including a fantastic synopsis of the Mars project. And I'll put a link to his book in the show notes. You can read it for free from NASA's website. I asked David about how von Braun's ideas influence human spaceflight, and he said this. the
The red
reliance
planet.
on a conjunction-class
Yeah,
long-stay
it
just
mission
seems
lasting
like
400 days.
a place on Earth that just
That was
has
gutsy.
way
In
too
the
much
1960s,
barium in
NASA
the
and
atmosphere.
contracted planners generally stuck with an opposition-class short-stay
It's
mission.
just
Barium.
In
so
recent
barium
years,
filled and
we've seen more
poisonous that there's
emphasis on the
almost no life there right
conjunction-class
now.
mission
Just a
mode,
lot of barium.
sometimes with a relatively short period on Mars, but
So, like in the whole Big Bang Theory, if you want to go with it, I'm going to say this.
Or the
How did
big
these things
barium
form?
theory.
The Big Barium Theory. How come there's not like just teeming life on the closest planets to us and each one of the stars? And how come there's not races trying to fly out of them with rockets and stuff?
Yeah.
They're not. We haven't run into any aliens that I know of.
As if we would now we have this AI stuff, and if we imagine future, people totally so far in the future compared to us, they would have something so crazy. They would have scanned space and found us long ago. You
Oh
know.
yeah. But
Yeah.
you got to keep that idea in people's minds because even Parliament, like I'd say, like 6 years ago, 7 years ago, they voted on whether to release their classified documents to the public about aliens. They made a announcement in Parliament, in the British Parliament, to do this before all this stuff started happening with Elon and SpaceX and all the rest of the programs. I think Cookie Monster's back. Oh, yes.
That's me.
Oh, you're here. Hey, Cookie.
Yeah. It's
Oh, you lost me or what?
Yeah, you. I don't know where you went to, but we
seems
went
like
to.
the American military and
Yeah.
government.
What
And
did
I
you
was
say?
going to tell him.
Or
I was
what?
going to tell him about the. We went through that geo shifter video. That is a reflection. You got to look at it close enough. There's not a guy outside of it. He's geo shifter. Probably that's probably why he ain't putting no videos out in a while.
I said it was a guy outside, but I said it was a reflection.
You're talking through a pillow again.
Shit.
Yeah,
Well-
we're just going over Project Mars right now, like the original book and the storyline and stuff.
I'm talking through a pillow. Bro.
It sounds like it. This word, does he sound like he's talking through a pillow?
Mm.
I can't hear. I can finally hear something now. So let me hear.
Say something, Ryan.
Hello?
That's better.
Oh, now he sounds okay.
You mean, did it sound okay before?
I don't know.
No,
I
it
couldn't
sounded
hear
like couldn't hear you at all.
Okay. I didn't do anything though. Huh. Still sitting in the
That
same
might be that might be it. He didn't even say anything.
Yeah.
Huh.
Oh, he did say something. He's muffled a little bit. I think it's just the microphone he's got.
It wasn't me mumbling.
It's the AI taking over his mic.
No. We have plenty of them footage of them faking the ISS station. It's like it's a clown show to go with it. But
Is this even the real Ryan or is it AI Ryan?
it's not an AI. It's the real Ryan. He's not even a clone.
Is it Robot Jan? Robot Jan. Oh, it's Robot Jan. I knew it.
So
The AI is taking over.
nice.
Well,
AI release Ryan and let's get him back.
So rockets work like this. They have their own oxygen source and they have their own fuel, so they can ignite themselves in a vacuum and push off of not a vacuum anymore because they polluted the vacuum with gas. So that's how they work.
who convinced you of this?
Nobody. That's just basically what he explained. That's what it came down to. That's what it all came down to.
Who's he? Jesse, you mean?
See who?
Now we're talking about.
Now we're talking
Jesse?
about the
I don't
Mars
remember.
Project. I'll
Oh,
talk
yeah,
about
yeah.
Jesse. That's what I'm
You
talking
believe-
about. Yeah. No, I want to see it, dude. That's what I told him. He wants to do a demonstration.
Yeah,
So
you know that. Never, it doesn't exist.
well, I'm waiting for it, And I've seen more than just Action Lab try it too. I've seen other people try to light rockets in vacuum chambers, and you'll say it's just the gas pushing off the outside. Yeah, it does expel the gas that far to the edge of the container. It has enough pressure to do that.
So that
Yeah.
you don't have that problem, because then you're going to have an argument because
Yeah.
The right way to do
That's that's why you use a larger vacuum chamber, dude.
infinite amount of vacuum that's ever expanding. It's from an explosion that happened billions of years ago. Remember?
Yeah, I know.
It can't be fucking just a little bit of pressure. It can't be just a little bit of vacuum. It has to be infinite. Otherwise, it doesn't work. All
Yeah,
that
that's-
gravity shit doesn't work if that doesn't work. So if he's saying that doesn't true, then he doesn't believe his own fucking theory.
Yeah, I know.
Bullshit.
That's why I kept telling him that you need to leave the vacuum on and
And I hate
have
to
it
say that,
constantly
it
running.
sounds mean, but that's fucking just what it is. That's just how it is.
Yeah. It'll purge the system, man. It'll clean it out. The rocket won't go anywhere. Yeah, I'm well aware of that. Let's take a look.
Just shoot a bunch of smoke. That's it.
Yeah.
It's like to wave your arms
Escape. That would be it.
and legs a lot in the
What
pool without
happens
water. You ain't gonna move
instantaneously.
You're just gonna move in sideways.
It wouldn't
And
be.
how do you control the direction
It would
like
suck
that?
it all out instantly.
You can't
It would,
really.
suck all the oxygen. It would suck it all out like instantly. Not.
Yeah, if it's a vacuum, and like a solid vacuum, it'd take all the gas out of it at once as soon as you opened it
I'm
up.
saying as soon as you started the engine, that would be gone. That'd be it. It would all suck out instantly, and there wouldn't be no more rocket. There would be no pressure. It wouldn't be no nothing.
Yeah,
Suck
well,
it out,
like
and you could put it in.
the demonstration with the gas tanker when they actually applied a vacuum to it, it collapsed.
Of course,
remember?
Jesse will just probably say eventually, he'll just say, "Well, I don't agree with them." Well, of course, neither do we. Now, welcome to Flat Earth. Exactly. That's all we can say because that's all there is to say.
Yeah.
But
So I want to.
trust me, we've been beating on that dead horse for years, bro. Over
Yeah, I
and
know.
over and over with all different kinds of proof. And trust me, it's proof that's convinced me, and he won't even look at it. He won't even stare at it right. He just goes, "I don't know what you mean." He does that shit. He does the same thing that fucker, what's his name? Matthew Learns does. That motherfucker pissed me off one night. Oh, I wanted to choke him.
Yeah, I did that after the third time I talked to the guy. Well, I heard it argue. He just automatically just dismisses everything he concedes to.
I want to choke him, dude. I want to choke the name. Because he sits there and lie right to you, lie right to your face. And, oh no, that's not what I did. That's not, dude.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
You're playing that.
I watched Matthew go through FED, and after he got done conceding to everything and apologizing for everything, he just turned around and say,
because I know we're
exactly the opposite.
Thing. He's going to the same shit over and over and over and over and over and over and say the same dumb shit, blah 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 blah, and then he can same shit every time. It doesn't say it's the same as McToon and all these other motherfuckers. All they ever do is blah 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 blah. Flat earthers are stupid. That's all they got to say, no matter what. And that ain't a fucking argument.
Well, he stopped watching about 23 minutes ago.
I don't give a fuck who you are. You don't win arguments by fucking being a dumbass.
No, I'm not trying to win an argument. I wanted him to demonstrate it for me. That's what I'm trying to get.
I know why he's not married, because no woman would put up with that shit. He probably does it on everything. No, you have to sleep on that side because I changed my mind, and you're just gonna do whatever I say.
If you don't like to a curved mattress, just
My fans love me, and they pay me to fucking keep my show on all night. So you got to do what I say.
I'm bringing home the bread, baby.
he got a curved bed. He got those beds with the remote, so you can curve up the mattress. Ah, yeah.
Well, space is a place where your helpful hardware man is, and he can make sure you get to where you got to go.
If you don't want to sleep curved in that house, you sleep outside. You can go sleep flat outside.
I'm going to play the rest of this project right quick. You get the idea, though. This is what his parents had in mind. I'm pretty sure by naming him this, and I'm pretty sure they got him started funding this project too, especially SpaceX. I think it's political money, and it's being funded from international banks and stuff. So, yeah, that's how SpaceX is still going. Right now, that's why they're still launching shit in the air. Yeah,
bullshit. It's just NASA with a different fucking name.
Mm-hmm. Well, they got to keep the kids interested in this shit.
The name they hired fucking Musk to fucking pretend like he was the owner of it. That's all he did. Yeah. He's been doing that ever since the beginning. You think he really owns Tesla? Fuck no.
No.
Nobody owns Tesla. Nobody owns any of those companies. The banks own it.
Yeah. And that's where I'm saying the money's coming from. But I mean, the whole storyline came from this book that Elon wrote. Dude. Elon wrote this book called Project Mars back in '47, and now it's coming to pass right in front of everybody's eyes. But they haven't got to Mars yet, or they say they have, but they haven't colonized Mars yet.
Where's my little folder?
No, that's Warner Von Braun wrote the book. Sorry.
Yeah,
Find
yeah.
my
I just need to. Yeah.
Let me find my
Well-
book. Everything's to say. Hold on. I gotta find it.
Well, Elon should write a book now that he's a star. He'd probably have a
You can
bestseller.
write the continuation of it.
Yeah, they can keep the story going, dude.
You are somebody and have the government agree with you, and then you can just write a book about anything, and no matter how dumb and how stupid it really is, people will believe it.
Yeah, well, he's a senator's son, right? You know that, right? Elon.
You're dealing with a
That's-
bunch of stupid stew jasters. You understand what that means?
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, just rearrange the letter.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out. That's what we're dealing with. Sorry to say
Yeah.
it, but it is.
Yeah. His mom and dad are South African politicians. They're both on the parliament, and they named him after this guy in the book, Mars Project. So they named it the captain of this mission. Yeah.
Finger?
Huh? Can you hear what I'm saying, Ryan?
I wasn't listening. I was trying to see what Dummy's doing. He came in here all sweating.
Okay.
Oh,
But where? Are you still on the hunt for Red October?
you got it on there. You won't have to fuck with that bottom beat. You stay on there. You can get the whole thing on there.
I'm gonna go ahead and finish off this project.
Yeah.
Lots of time in orbit. Other times with almost the whole mission spent on the surface. Von Braun had the right idea. So what do you think about von Braun's ambitious plans to send humans to Mars? How do you think this compares to our more modern plans? Are there other ideas about human colonization of Mars that you'd like me to look into? What would you like Amy and me to investigate next? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Next episode, fusion. It'll be about fusion. Seriously. Maybe? Well, more? As I said, this is a collaboration with Amy Sherr Title, so you're going to want to watch what she's got to say about the moon missions. I've created a playlist that starts with Amy's video and then carries on to other related videos about the von Braun plans, including recreations in the Kerbal Space Program. Click here to get started.
No thanks. I'm fine.
Click it.
Can you say a whole bunch of words that don't mean a fucking thing and then make it sound good? Thank you.
You can be a politician if you do that, dude.
Yeah. All of fucking Harrison suck dick too.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say is Elon's a product of politics. That's a good one though. Yeah, he's a product of politicians, dude. Yeah.
True, we seen all the pictures of her with all those fucking guys. Right, banged every one of them.
Why not?
He was Diddy's parties too. Several of them.
Man, if I hear Diddy's party one more time, I'm gonna have one of my own.
I just heard that back. Look up Joe Brown. Say all about it.
Yeah,
He was banging her too. Joe Brown was banging her back in the day too.
yeah, whores are a dime a dozen, dude.
Just wanted to put this fucking back.
No, who will give you? I was, back in the day.
I'll buy that bitch.
I know a hoe when I see a hoe.
I know when I see one.
Yeah, but you want a hoe that shuts up, dude. That's how they make it further in the
Yeah,
hoe
but she's
business.
the politician now. She's the hoe that doesn't shut up now. Nobody wants to be around the crazy bitch. Everybody just stays the fuck clear of her.
She's untouchable.
She's always up Trump's asshole. Drunk? Oh,
That's why
drunk.
she does
I'm scanning through this new airplane he's got. I don't think they've even tested it yet.
She never grew up. Still a bitch.
No, they haven't tested this airplane. So this is a work of fiction
What?
too.
Airplane. What?
No, Elon's new. Here, I'll show you.
I'm talking to you. What the fuck?
Elon's got a new airplane.
Babbling.
Whoa. Here, I'll start from the beginning and give you a good idea of what they're trying to present.
Project that could revolutionize hypersonic travel. With Musk's track record of turning ambitious ideas into reality, could his latest venture be the breakthrough we've been waiting for? What does this mean for the future of air travel and global connectivity? Join us to find out if Elon Musk's hypersonic jet defies the speed of light.
Now, they just said it defies the speed of what again? a plane that goes faster than light. That's fucking insane. You think it'll work?
I got a big giant penis to tell you.
I bet you do.
Crazy.
How much? How much is that doggy in the window?
It's a huge hawk,
You cock.
If
and
it
it's
goes
black.
It's black. Oh my god, dude. You guys are cutting out.
I was lagging again. Yeah. I said if
Sounds
it,
like
a lot
if
of
it
people
goes
are,
faster than light, it's gonna
Yeah.
fuck you up.
I think you have issues on your end or something.
you won't see it coming.
I mean, if you're inside something that goes so fast, you ain't gonna make it.
Nope.
Oh, no, you can just go right out past those damn belts. No problem. You must have
Yeah.
just flown right past them like they were nothing.
Well, yeah, if you're going the speed of
you're
light,
done.
radiation
Yeah,
won't
you're
hurt
done.
you at all, dude. Matter of fact,
Just
everything
the
will go
speed
right
will
through you.
kill you.
Right out
The
past them.
speed
We
will
didn't,
kill
even,
you,
we didn't
man.
even notice them at all. We just went right past them. We must have right
Everything
funny as
inside
hell.
you will just be splashed. You know, it will just be smushed. The speed itself will just destroy you.
No, if you sped up really slowly, you'd be fine.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
But
you're
going
good.
from 0 to light,
But when you take off and you're going 5,000 miles per hour before the rocket even leaves the fucking ramp, then there's a problem. Because they even lie about that. I mean, I've actually clocked it, and I've seen it not even be above the damn rack yet, and it says it's going 1,000 miles per hour. I'm like, no, it's not going 1,000 miles per hour, dumbass. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, so this is all a bunch of fantasy, dude. I mean, everything we've been
Oh,
watching
yeah.
for the past
Fantasy,
3
so
years.
obviously phony, then anybody who believes it has to be a moron.
Yeah.
I mean, you might as well just go and check yourself into the loony bin if you really believe the Earth's a big ball. It can't be. It's impossible. It's stupid. It's so stupid. It's not even funny. It's not even. It's just stupid.
It is.
There's no intellect. There's no logic. There's nothing involved in it at all. It's complete horseshit from the very start. It doesn't start with reality. It starts with zip and it ends with zip, and it still doesn't have any evidence. But every motherfucker in the world just can't let go of it. Can't.
Nope.
A moron must be someone living in fantasy who keeps adding more fantasy, more onto the fantasy.
It sounds just like Elon and SpaceX and NASA and it's like they live in this fantasy world. They never live in the real world, so they don't
They are
understand.
morons.
So they're alien to it. Yeah. Well, it's been a good show so far.
Yep.
Yeah. And I hope you're enjoying it too, Discord. I am.
Me too.
I know. Well, I'm gonna call it a night. Maybe Jesse will come back with a demonstration, or he wants to agree to a demonstration. I want to see this happen. I want to see him use it.
That's all he wants to do is make a bet and win the bet, and he's going to make
Yeah.
a bet whether he loses or not. He just has to make a bet.
Well, what's up with making a bet? I don't get that.
He's one of those. I don't know how to. Why are you asking me? I've known the guy 4 or 5 years, and he's still just as stubborn as the day I met him. Like literally, he hasn't changed a bit. And I've told him everything. I've gone over almost everything with this dude. Everything. From the beginning to the end. I mean, every little bit of information I've ever thought of has gone over his head, and he doesn't take it. He just goes, nope, can't do it. Nope. That's why I wasn't even going to bring him in. I mean, I did it because he's nice and all, but you're the one that you're the one that bring him on here.
I've never really talked to him before.
I'd only bring him in if it was going to be other people to talk that would like relate with him. Like I wouldn't necessarily just bring him in just to ask him questions because he's going to do the same thing that everybody else does. He just bullshits and he talks in circles. And then he gets frustrated after a while and he wants to go home. He gets tired of telling us because he knows it. But it's the same thing, like basically that's what I've come to the conclusion as. It's easier to just be his friend and not talk about flat earth because that's the only time I can have a good time with it. If I talk about flat earth, he just frustrates because he won't listen and he's stubborn and he just won't accept reality. And then he tells me I'm the one that won't do it and it just gets on my nerves. And after a while, it's just like, I just want to bash his head in, and I don't want to do that to the guy because he's nice. But it's like, you know what I mean? It's like, I don't understand why you guys want to spend all this time with these assholes that just say the dumb shit over and over. And then you bring them on and they say the same dumb shit again, and they do it again and again, but you just keep bringing him on the show. It's like, don't you get fucking sick of it, bro? Like,
I've only had him on twice,
irritating.
dude.
I know,
I've
but
never
it's
had
like,
I never
well,
had
we had
anybody
Sean,
else
like,
on.
we had to have Sean on once. We had everybody. I've already been on a show, and Brenda's been in there, and I knew Brenda from Discord. Brenda hasn't changed. He has the same shit that he says, the same phrases, the same
Yeah.
little shtick every time. He hasn't changed it. He hasn't even at all. It's the same argument.
Yeah.
It's the same one every time.
I didn't let Brenda in either. You noticed
All
that.
there is to it. It's like so frustrating. He won't.
This,
He'll just talk around in a circle and keep talking around until he gets you to say something stupid. Then you can say, "Oh, see, you believe some stupid thing."
Real life
Wait.
NPCs.
Yeah, he's telling me that I'm denying
college course on how to fuck people's head up, and he just likes to twist and fuck with people until they get mad. And he knows that's all he's going to do because he just acts stupid and acts ridiculous and says the most moronic things, and that's what makes people angry at him. It's hard not to get angry with people that act stupid like that. It's frustrating.
It is.
So, you know, when you got your ass kicked as a little kid because you weren't that way. I mean, think about it. We all got our butts kicked, right? To know the right shit, do the right thing, to be smart, to know what's going to happen, to expect the unexpected, to be there, you know, to protect things that need to be protected and to run from the things that we need to run from. We didn't learn that on our own, bro. We learned it from accidentally fucking shit up and from our fathers telling us, don't do that, don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Don't tell me that Jesse didn't have a father and didn't have someone telling him that, because he did. But somehow they were telling him the opposite. They were telling him not to believe in the reality. They were telling him to believe in some horse shit. I guess. I don't know.
Well, a lot of these people get a lot of their
I literally
from
can't figure out what's wrong with them. I've looked at all different kinds of things. I mean, I have mental problems, so I'm accepting of it. I don't have a problem with it. It's like I have to deal with it every day, right? It's just part of who I am. I'm not upset with anybody. I'm not mad at God or anybody else. It just is what it is. But I have to deal with shit on a daily basis. And I do certain things and I act certain ways. And that's how I defend my, whatever you want to call that persona in my head that keeps me from doing something crazy, like giving up, you know? I don't want to do that, right? So that's how I deal with it. So I do things because of that. That's how I survive. That's why I'm aggressive. That's why I do the things that I do. And I get in people's faces. Because if I don't, they're going to do it to me. And I don't want that. That makes me very angry. I'd rather be the aggressor. It's easier. It really is.
Yeah, I'm not being passive aggressive myself. I'm actually pretty aggressive when I actually want proof. When I ask for a proof for what you're presenting, he's telling me I'm denying physics, literally.
Right, but he hasn't said anything today that I heard that had anything to do with physics. He's trying to deny physics and everything that we've literally read right out of the physics book, and tells us, no, that's not how it works. But he's wrong, because we can go in there and look at all the science books and tell him that this is what your science says. So where the fuck are you coming from, bro? So you're just saying you just believe your own thing. That's what everybody does. So that's what they do. They just believe what they want to believe. They make the decision. They write it down in a book, and then they follow it. I guess.
Oh, he went through a whole bunch of claims he wanted to do while he's on the show.
Oh, he can't wait to do all this stuff because he knows he can convince stupid people with it. Because it does. I've seen him convince people. I don't know how he does it. I really do think it's brainwashing. I really do. I don't know.
Could be.
But he convinced one of my friends.
That rockets work in space.
Showed him shadows on Venus, and this guy believed it. And suddenly he's not a flat earther anymore. I'm like, what? I go, then you never were, bro. Yes, I was, but I seen that, dude. You can't deny that. You saw a fucking shadow on a fucking light in the sky. That was the fucking evidence. I mean, I could see a whole bunch of other things. If you fucking found out that, you know, something that you've heard in videos all this time was a lie, or, you know, if we found out a lot of the flat earth stuff that we thought was true was fake, that'd be one thing. But he says he saw a shadow on a fucking light in the sky. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with people, bro?
A shadow? Man, I mean, I'm almost sold right now.
And then wants me to fucking do the thing. Says, I'm going to believe it too. All I got to do is look at the shadows on Venus. I'm like, get the fuck out of here, dude.
Yeah, read this one to me.
Did we not look at Venus that 1 week? A couple years ago. I've seen the fucking Venus shadows. I've seen it. And we both sit there and said, that's crazy. It looks like there's making shadows, but we don't fucking know what the fuck that is. Nobody does. I can't confirm shit any more than I can confirm what's going on in the field behind my house in the dark. I can't fucking see it. So how am I going to know?
You got to pre-assume that the moons are going across Venus and causing those
You go
shadows.
around and change colors, bro. You don't know shit about what's up there any more than I do or anybody else. It's basically up in the fucking air and out in left field somewhere. No one fucking knows for sure.
Well, tell them to send a rocket up there and take pictures of the moons going in front of
That's
Venus.
not why they go up there to grow space lettuce, remember? And
Yeah, I know.
fix multiplexers, because that's all that's on the fucking space station is multiplexers, right? Every
Yep.
time something breaks, it's a multi-fucking plexer. Get the fuck out of here with that. And they're fucking wrenches. Like, they claim that there's all these micro fucking dot fucking space things, meteorites flying through the ship at all times, and they could just lose pressure and die at any moment. But they're worried about a screw that falls off the fucking space station, right? Get the fuck out of here with that shit, bro. And we all know we're up on entry if that's what they claim, right? Anything that
Yeah,
falls
man.
from space,
Yeah.
burn up
They
on
play
entry, right?
around with water, and they are so scared of water getting into the machinery.
And
Yeah.
lie, and they lie some more, and then they lie over that fucking lie. That's all they fucking do, bro. There's
They
nothing
do
fucking-
everything wrong.
Cameras were fake. And radios were fake. Everything was fake. They didn't have any of that technology. They still don't. You still can't get a fucking cell signal in the middle of fucking New York. Give me a fucking break, bro. When they could
I
fix
know.
that shit, when they could prove we don't ever have a fucking break in our fucking internet ever and never slow down, why can't we? They tell us, oh, it's impossible. Bullshit. They could do it in 10 seconds, bro. They don't want to. They just slowly meter it. They just slowly sell you little bits of it so they can fucking screw you out of every dime you got and make you buy all this dumb shit and all this brand new software and hardware every fucking 3 years. They're fucking douchebags, bro. That's all they're
And
in
if
it
they
for.
limit you, if
Suck
they
you
limit
in
your internet speed, you still have you can still use as much as you want, but you can't get as much out of it.
Exactly. It's always some fucking bullshit where they're balancing the two. Or they'll sell you this internet that's the fastest ever, but then the guaranteed speeds is only at a metered speed. Okay, so what the fuck am I buying? Nothing.
Yeah.
I'm buying some bullshit you just made up and then sold me the same fucking shit you sold me last year. Only now you're telling me it's better, but it's not. But because the computer thing that you run when you sign up for it shows that it says, look, your computer's running faster now. Well, of course you're going to believe that because you're a dumb fuck. You just hacked your computer and slowed it down so it would look bad. Duh.
All right, Ryan.
Everything's a fucking scam, bro. Everything is. There's
You're
not
gonna
one
get-
thing out there that's not fucking screwing you somehow. Everything's
You're going to get my bill at the end of the month for the therapy. Now, what's bothering you, sir?
Listen to what I'm saying. I'm being fucking honest. I'm telling the fucking truth.
I know.
Exactly
I know
the
you
fuck
are.
about what this, and I have fucking evidence of it. I don't give a fuck if you believe me, and I ain't sharing it anymore. I'm fucking tired of it. I have shared it. Everybody goes, they're just patents, right? They're fucking accepted patents, you moron.
Yeah.
Dumb, bro. People are just.
Well, you're preaching to the choir, dude. You really are.
No, I'm just getting it out of my system because I get
Yeah, I
told
know.
every day, you can't say that on here. You can't say that. Fuck you guys, man. Say what
But
the
you can't
fuck I
say
want.
that, right?
You're either mentally ill or you're fucking stupid, bro. It's one or the other. Pick one.
I'll go with both, Alex, for 200.
Be intelligent and fucking and blame and say that something that's not fucking true is true. It doesn't work, bro. It makes you idiot. It either makes you dumb or it makes you crazy. One of the two. You got to pick one. And don't give me that gender bullshit or that color bullshit because I don't give a shit what color you are. If you believe that shit, you're dumb.
Yeah.
There's three.
Well, I'm not
main
prejudiced,
things
man.
to prove it to you. Go to the fucking ocean and measure the goddamn horizon. Look in all four directions. It's fucking flat, dude. You can't beat that. There is no way to argue against it. It's the fucking truth. It's beyond the shadow of a doubt. Evidence right in front of you. Just go to the ocean, see it for your fucking self. Don't be a dumbass.
Yep.
You don't need my help. Get on the fucking internet and find out how to prove it to yourself. It's not that fucking hard. If it's flat, everywhere you look, bro, if the horizon stays flat, it couldn't be anything but flat. It just can't be. Do you understand that? It's just not fucking possible. So shut up about it. It doesn't exist. Lose it. Move on. You hear that?
Nice.
No, I'm not going to ever get over it because we still got a whole shitload of people that still believe this shit and think I'm just making stuff up.
Are you?
Yeah.
Well, we got our GoFundMe. I'm going to go ahead and post it in here.
And
We're going to do your
Anybody does
observation.
ever ask me in an interview if I believe the Earth is flat, I'm gonna laugh in their fucking face just like anybody else would.
Say hi to Super Sidewinder. He's here. Hey, Super.
That's
How
a
we
really.
doing tonight?
Why would you ask me that question? What you think that I would lie about it? You think I just Oh no, I don't believe it anymore. I changed my mind today. And tomorrow I might change my mind again. Stupid
Did you
ass.
change your mind? Did you change your mind today?
Believe it or not, if somebody's a shill, they just are a shill, okay? There is no getting around it. There is no, well, they might be a shill or they might, no, they either are or they aren't, right?
Yeah.
What do shills do? What do shills do? What is this? What is the definition of the word?
Well,
What is a shill?
they're getting paid to push a
Talks for the
narrative so
man.
they
He
can make money.
He tells everybody that the man is telling you the truth. He's telling you the truth. You got to believe him because he's telling you the truth. That's what a shill does. A shill makes you believe in something that doesn't exist and convinces you by backing that person up or value up. That's what shilling is. You understand that?
Yeah,
right?
I know how it works. I know how shilling works.
Now, do I think that any of the flat earthers that I know are shills? I don't know. I really don't, because I wonder about them sometimes. The shit they've gotten talked into. It's like, why would you go and do anything with? Why would you go do anything with National Geographic? You have to know it's a setup, bro. They're
Yeah.
setting you up. It does. If they even talk to you for any reason, you're a nobody. You're nobody, and you believe in something that everyone thinks is crazy. Why would they give you the fucking time of day if they weren't going to wreck you, bro? It's the dumbest thing in the world. How could you not believe? How could you not already be expecting that? Especially if you're military, bro. Mark Sargent, get the fuck out of here, bro. No way. There's no way he didn't fucking see that coming. No fucking way in hell. And you and I both know both of those people are smarter than that. We've heard them talking, we've heard them conversating, we've heard them debating, and they're not dumbasses. So how does a person that's not dumbass turn around and just act stupid like that? I don't know. But I'm telling you what, I would have made a fucking stink, bro. I would have gotten pissed off. I would have threw a fucking fit. I would have made the media listen to me. I would have thrown a fit so fucking big and screamed so loud that everything in the world would have had to hear me.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
I hear
They
you.
didn't.
I
They
do.
just walked away like, no, we're not going to say nothing. We're just going to keep our mouth shut. We're going to go do a laser test instead. How did that work out? Badly. Why? Because they believed in some dumb fuckers that were going to trick them every time. Hello?
Yeah. I'm going to show you what's right down the street from me.
The same way, and then go and start it again. This guy's different. He's not as. Right.
Yeah.
Whatever. All right.
Okay. I'm going to show you the company that runs this little town I'm in. I'll see if I can find it. It's actually a NASA. It's a NASA front. It's called Mirex, and they have a huge footing here. It's like right down the street from me. It's like less than 2 blocks away.
That sounds like a cinema's name or something.
No, but they actually have a building that's built like a satellite dish. It's a huge 4-story glass building.
Whoa.
Yeah, they actually build satellite products. And they have a big political following here. There's a lot of space heads in Denver. Well, where is it?
You fumbling with the lid.
Yeah, I can't find them.
You're hitting something. Right, what are you hitting?
Not on YouTube. I'll have to look them up another way. I'll have to go to like
Better find them now.
Google.
I'm gonna Google what?
Google the company Mirex Technologies. That's it.
Me and the people are counting down 1 minute now.
I believe you.
I'm going to show you the company that's right up the street from me. Here you go. Mirex is a big corporation. This is them.
Oh, you made it.
Yes, I did. Their building's right down the street from me. I can walk there. And I've looked into the people that work for them, and like their engineers, their first career was screenwriting, and they're related to Hollywood. So pretty much they're one and the same.
Are you dyslexic, Roger?
Read what?
Are you dyslexic? You see everything upside down and back. Are you sure? Because you just said Marax, and it's called Maxar, not Marax.
Yeah, you're right.
Are you sure okay, Roger? You sure okay?
Yeah, I'm
buddy?
fine. I'm good. I'm good. I promise you. Yeah.
Was that weed I sent you too good or what?
No, I haven't had any weed today. Yeah,
Maybe you should partake a little. Maybe that will bail you out.
Probably
Get some.
help me out. I'm not stressed out.
Boss you around like that anymore, Roger.
Roger's gonna get some.
No, I'm gonna look at their products.
Oh no.
You wanna look at them? Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna get some then.
Their products? Okay. Their dispensary
No,
down the
no,
street.
no. That's not what we're talking about.
Yeah, I can get a career there. Hold on, let's check out their careers. Come on, go. Ah,
Yeah, I thought you said Mirax or something, and
yeah, I
that
did.
sounds like a cinema to me.
It is. Hey, how would you pronounce it? Maxar?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. And anybody can get a job there, dude, from what I can tell. Look at this girl here. She looks like she's an average woman.
Yeah.
Well, if
See,
you're working for Mirax, yeah, you probably would be. You'd be there a long time before you get a job.
Yeah. This place is right down the street from me. Yeah.
And they make space parts. Huh? Oh boy, space
Yeah.
systems. And
Yeah.
who's buying these space systems?
Well, you know who's
Maxar
buying them.
space system.
Well, they're
What is
owned
a
by
space system anyway?
another company. Yeah.
What is
I'm
a
gonna show you.
system? Space system. What does that
Do
mean?
they have a 3D presentation?
Intelligence. Oh, they sell
I don't know.
intelligence too. They sell intelligence and space systems. Systems. It sounds like bullshit. Sounds like here's how you fake it. This is the stuff you need right here. You're gonna fake space. Here's what you need. These booms right here. And then you need to put these in a warehouse and just like this. And then you turn the lights out and boom, you got a fucking satellite. Boom. Look at
I'm
that.
going to show you the
You'll have
company
them
that
all
owns
convinced that you're selling them space shit. Yep. You'll have them all
the company that owns
buying
them
asteroids from you.
is this company.
Morons. Fucking dumbasses. As their biggest fucking cheese dick dumbasses in the world. Never heard of such a stupid thing in my life. Selling you.
This is the company that owns them
It
right
doesn't
here.
exist, bro.
This one. See this? This is the company that owns them.
Fucking moronic potential, dumbness, making fucking insulated cups to drink out of. Whoop-de-doo.
Yeah, but they make space products too, dude.
Sure they do. Never go to space, right?
There's just a parent company for.
Never go to space though. So what the fuck? Why do they even bother putting space on the fucking name? It doesn't go to space.
Everybody who
It
makes
goes on a
any
hot air
kind of
balloon and it
product.
gets lifted up and it hangs from a fucking balloon. We all know that. There is no argument. Satellites don't exist. There's no evidence for it. Show me one being fucking launch. Show me from the very beginning the whole fucking camera, every trick. They guarantee you they probably have more cameras on a fucking real satellite than they do on the fucking ones they supposedly send to space. Trust me.
Okay.
There's probably 50,000
Hey guys, you can actually read.
of them on that one little boom.
See where this company's located? Read it. This is the same company. See where they're located? No, right here. Just read it.
It must be from Bend Over because you guys are bending over.
It's Westminster, Colorado.
Oh boy.
Yeah, we're right down the street from me. It's on my same block, dude. You know what I'm saying? That's the what do you call it? The same. It's the same building, same company. That's right up the street from me. So I'm in the middle of Space USA. I live right there, and I've checked their backgrounds on their employees and stuff. They don't do anything related to space. They're more into screenwriting and book writing. They publish. They don't have any real engineers. Yeah.
But they got behind the space.
It's the final frontier.
The room they're sitting in, you know, the desk they got, you know, that's all spaces.
Hey, you guys want to go check out Vlad? He's on right now.
Dude, you should know NASA's fake by the one astronaut that doesn't even know how the fucking process works. He has no
by
clue.
The choice of name.
And he's been to space how many fucking times? And he doesn't know how the fucking process goes if there's a fucking leak? Really? Are you fucking kidding me, bro? How
And
would
do you think
not
think
at least
Jewish
have
people
a
would choose a
excuse for that?
name
How would
like
you
that?
not at least have an excuse for that
course.
built in? Like, why wouldn't they have thought of that ahead of time? It's so stupid. It's like they're not even smart enough to teach them the right way to lie about it. They just tell them, just don't tell anybody. Just
They're
make them.
bad actors, right?
That's what they tell them. Obviously, it's like so stupid. And when they
That's
don't
not
know,
my
they just look in
department.
the car and go, "Oh, so and so here, he knows the answer." Right.
So that link in
Literally
the
hire
chat,
these
guys.
dumbasses up the street. They're probably crackheads, and they give them unlimited supply of drugs, and they just cut them loose in the fucking lab.
I'm trying to push our GoFundMe for your cameras. That link in chat's for cameras. We're gonna do a black swan. We're gonna get Ryan some cameras to go out on the water and get a big one. We're gonna catch a big fish. Oh, don't snore.
Sleep again. What the fuck?
Are you? I
How
just
many
had
times
to
we
put that out there.
How many times is a flat earther going to have to go out and do a fucking video to show the fucking dumbasses that the Earth's flat. How many times do we have to do this over and over and over and over before they finally fucking accept it? They're
Well, just do it, dude. Yeah, I'm not gonna get it. I'm not doing it for them.
I know I'm not. That's what I'm saying. I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
That's why I'm not bringing him on the show. That's why I ain't having a discussion with him. It's done.
You are doing it live, Ryan. You are doing it live.
Even so, they're just gonna bitch. They're gonna say, "Oh, well, you weren't this, and you were looking up, or you were looking down, or blah, 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 blah." It'll be some dumb shit that they can.
Sure, but no one can deny that the video is unedited.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that's the best of all.
Yeah, and then I'll get a pat on the back, and someone will come along and do it again, and they'll do it better. And another person will come along and do it again and do it better, and the motherfucker still won't believe it.
Well, the truth doesn't belong to everybody, obviously.
That is the truth. But it makes me wonder, most of the people that I see have already made the decision by the time. You know, like it's very rare that I find someone that is stubborn and then they get convinced. It's just very rare. Very rare. And usually they have to do it on their own. Like nothing I did. It's just I gave them the idea and they went and looked at it. But sometimes it took me how long to get you? 2 years, 3 years to get you to even look at the shit? And then you still don't watch it very much.
Who are you talking to?
My homeboy Dave.
Whoever.
Oh. I was wondering if he was talking to us. We've been looking at this for a long time. So.
Well, I was talking to you until that point. I was just bringing him into the conversation because he's my only convert that well, my mom and a couple other friends, but he's the only one that actually sits and talks about it and actually knows what he's talking about most of the time.
Good. I'm glad Dave
He doesn't have it. You know, he does not like, I wouldn't say he could debate or nothing, you know, not like that, but he knows enough to know why he believes it is flat. I mean, he knows why he knows it.
Well, I'm going to give you a Rage Against the Machine quote. Know your enemy.
If you think you're such a badass, why ain't you on here talking shit then? I don't want to be. Yeah. I mean, you could be getting over on people, and you don't want to be involved. You don't want to get over on them.
What are we getting over on? That's my question. I haven't got
anything talking shit, telling people they're stupid. That's fun, isn't it? Don't you enjoy picking on people? It's fun, isn't it?
Yeah, let's talk about
It's
Craig.
not fun, then why the fuck do we do it all day long? That's my question. Why do we pick on people and call them stupid all day if that's not fun? I don't like getting called stupid. Even when I'm stupid, I don't like getting called. So I don't like it. So that's not the way I want to do it, right?
Let's talk about Craig and Mr. Hawkins.
Okay, sure.
But I personally don't dislike them because they're them. I just don't like them because of the way they act when they're around me. But personally, I'm sure they're nice people. I'm sure their mom and their dad and their family loves them. I can only imagine, right?
Yeah.
I don't think that I'm special. Like I'm the only one that my family loves and everyone else in the world just their family hates them because they're such stupid people. I don't believe that. I just don't like the fact that the people won't let go of what they believe in. It's stupid. To me, it's dumb.
Well, I think Keith came up with the right idea.
And makes your hand glow light, and then you walk away and you go, "Oh, that wasn't God. That must have been some guy with a fucking inflatable hand." It's like, really, motherfucker? Like, huh?
Yeah.
What?
Well, I think Flatsoy was right with the Obsessed video. I think that's
face
really
with a bumblebee or a bee, and it stings you in the face, and your face swells up huge, and then you go, "I didn't get stung by a bee." Like, get the fuck out of here with that, right? Like, no, you got stung by a bee. Look at your face, dummy. Oh no, that wasn't a bee. It must have been a hornet. No, it was a bee, dude. Some people know these things. You know what I mean? There's people that know things. And you don't argue with people that know things, right? You don't have to because they'll tell you the truth about it. And then once you hear the truth, you'll be like, hey, that makes sense. That makes logical sense. Why would I argue with that? Because it makes logical sense, right? But when somebody comes along and tells you about the earth being a ball, they're only going to tell you bullshit, and more bullshit because there's no evidence for any of it. It's just they think that a sphere is perfect. And so God must be perfect. So because God must be perfect, the earth must be a sphere. That's where they got the fucking stupid idea. That's where the dumbass idea came from. That's where these dumb fucks came. That's where that thought came from. Duh. Dumb, dude. It's fucking dumb. Dumb.
Have you gotten it all out yet?
He's getting there.
Nope. I could go on all night.
I bet you could.
I know nobody wants to.
I know it.
I know.
Let's go say hi to Vlad. He's running a show right now.
I'm just
say hi, Vlad.
In a mood. Because I didn't sleep good last night. I'm in a mood. I'm sorry.
It's fine.
And if the wrong person said the wrong thing to me right now, I'd probably smash their head in. Get it.
Don't smash my head in, dude.
Please don't be that guy. Right. Don't
be that guy.
But I love you, Ryan. But I love
want to hit people, but for some reason I never do. You ask anybody that knows me, they'll be like, "Yeah, he gets all pissed off and swinging and acts like he's gonna do, but he doesn't do nothing. He just
And I'm only hitting
been
you with
saying that
love.
all
No,
along.
but you know what?
See,
It
I was
still
right.
works
This is the channel
every
to
time.
follow. This is why I got 175 subscribers or some nonsense
Oh,
like that.
now we're watching Vlad, guys.
No, but here's the thing. People have to keep reminding the Gerrans and people like
He's
him
saying the same
that
thing I
it
was just
doesn't
saying,
matter.
or he's saying it
Like
nice.
Jaren went to Bro Sanchez's show,
Yeah.
started talking that shit, and Bro Sanchez was like, "Oh my God, you sound like you a Glober." And like I've mentioned before, Bro Sanchez never loses his
Bro
composure like that, right?
So I got a question for you.
That's what I meant.
Oh, sorry. What does a Glober talk like? Do they sound particular anyway? Besides the argument itself. Anybody here?
Yeah, my computer just messed up, I think.
Ryan's sweating it out in there. You feeling better yet?
Yeah, he looks good. He looks good. That's a no. Well, I don't know. I started lagging out when he was talking about that appearance on Bro Sanchez's show. I remember that I was watching that show live. That was
Nice.
that was crazy. It was a little confusing.
Yeah. Well, Bro Sanchez he's usually a loud show from what I've heard. It's like a hard show to go to.
Yeah, you really gotta know what you're talking about if you're going over there.
Yeah, I get you. Don't go to Bro Sanchez. Let's go.
No, you have to be a dumbass to go in his live stream and chat. Maybe in there talking to him is fine. He's great, but his fucking fans are weird.
Oh, in that way.
They're
Yeah,
weird
that
I mean,
there is
fucking
some-
weird. I mean, like borderline fucking psychotic.
that happens everywhere. But there is some fun fights on the panel sometimes, but you know.
No.
That happens everywhere.
You can say that happens. It does not happen in any other chat except that one. It's like there's no. It's like
it's
there's
allowed
nobody in
as
there.
much as possible for
No,
content
everything's
and for
whatever you
it's
want.
allowed. It's allowed to a certain extent for content and to actually show off how people are, so he can point that out too, and you know, it's pretty entertaining.
There's nothing wrong with that.
You already know how
Sometimes.
people are. Come on. How old are we? I mean, I've known how people are since I was fucking 5-6 years old, bro. Pretty much.
Yeah.
I've got them down. I don't think anybody else is anywhere farther behind me. I really don't. We know what people are like. We're not confused. If you are, then that something might be wrong. Same. I mean, I had trouble all through school. I got fights all the time. I got in trouble all the time. I couldn't focus on school. I was just nuts. I made it.
You did? Nice. I'm glad you did make it.
I did. I survived. I mean, could have killed me, I guess. You know, I could have gave up along the way. I mean, there's a lot of things that could happen, but I didn't. So here I am. You know, like, I'm not saying it's a good thing, but
Well, it never is a good thing in that regard.
to be honest,
School
with
has
you,
never had actually
That's
did
what
anything good for me.
the whole world wants to believe the Earth's a ball. I'll let them.
Well, yeah, I'm not going to stop you from believing what you're going to believe, but proving it is another story.
I know it. I ain't never letting go. Somehow, the memory and the thoughts of all of us, somehow, as we thought it was, that's the way I could see it ever happen.
Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. We got something new on the horizon, guys. You got to check this out.
I can see God punishing us by making the Earth a ball.
Bring it. Yeah.
You got to check this out. They got
into a tiny ball. Sorry.
I hope not. We'll come to a point and just disappear. Boop. We'll be the Atom Man. They got an amazing invention.
Talking about you already are. You're made of them, billions of them. What are you talking about?
Atoms.
If they
That's what I'm
exist, you're
saying.
made of billions of them. So what do you mean you're not an atom? You are. what you
Well,
are.
what if we are made out of atoms?
You're a bunch of shit smashed
Atoms.
together and held in line by some fucking frequencies. That's all you are, bro. That's it.
I'm made of
May the
flat.
frequency be with you.
There's very
Atom.
little of what you see in these bodies that's real. You know that.
Now
My
check out this
flat
invention.
actual flat torus fields, you know.
It's only it's like a video game. This is what this is. It's like a video game. You go through it, and then when it's over, you can forget about it. You learn
Nice.
something along the way, but you don't want to go back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Check this out, guys. You got to see this. It's pretty cool.
Yep.
And ready to blow your mind with the latest amazing inventions that are truly on another level. Hold tight. This stuff might just make you fall out of your chair. Big shout out to all our subscribers and bell hitters. For those who haven't yet, thanks in advance.
Hit the bells.
We need you. Let's dive in.
Please read your mind.
Dubai is really living in the future, where robots have replaced cops, scanning for weapons and keeping the peace with ease.
Excuse me, I'm in charge of the security here.
The URS Spider Boot uses smart design to shift the blast away from a deminer's leg, preventing limb loss
Wow.
if they step on an explosive.
It still blows you to pieces. It just doesn't blow your leg.
Presenting the one-of-a-kind device.
Still around, boy. You'll be fine.
Wash. Get your glasses salon fresh in under 2 minutes.
Ooh, salon fresh.
Imagine racing in your favorite go-kart like you're inside a video game. With
Nice.
Battle Kart, you can actually live that
It's Mario
dream.
Kart, guys. Check it out.
Watch the Cube series trailer transform in a flash.
Ooh. Ah.
Voila! It's an instant home on wheels.
A whole bunch
Modern ads need a modern twist. Kinetic LED walls make sure you're seen.
Yep.
Just picture the sheer coolness of moving screen ceilings that completely speak for themselves. Totally jaw-dropping.
Oh yeah. Ah.
The mono-flat unison flush sliding door system keeps all your
Batman.
secrets safe.
Please be a secret door. Please be a secret.
Yeah.
And this hidden shelf is an absolute mind-bender
Wow.
for any burglar.
Is it? Not really.
See how a Macdon tractor cab and a helicopter airframe are expertly fused, with amazing results.
Wow.
Ditch public transportation and clunky bikes. Zoom anywhere with AirTrick e-skates.
Ooh.
I'll give you $500 for it.
Robotics cut eyelash extension time down from 2 hours to 20 minutes. A real game changer.
Wow.
Yeah, until it rips it all out of you.
Firefighting goes next level with a helicopter that gathers 1,200 gallons of water in just 40 seconds.
Go for it.
Stabs
Brace
your eye and
yourself
pulls your
for the
lashes off.
coolest version of the Nintendo Switch ever.
We see some girl with a big patch over her face.
Smash that like button if you would love to get your hands on it.
Nope. Good.
Lifting
Not
heavy
really.
loads without an elevator is now a piece of cake.
Ooh.
The rear view rod reflector keeps you safe on the slopes, providing a full view of what's behind.
That's gonna stop somebody from running into you.
Experience the all-electric prototype designed to slice through the waves right alongside you.
Oh yeah.
It's insanely awesome.
Imagine taking too fast for a
It
curve.
takes
though.
just 1 minute to prepare this rescue fleet to assist around 100 people.
Am I the only one who got some Gangnam Style vibe when he was sailing around there?
Life-saving.
Oh yeah. It's Gangnam Style.
You'll be craving this UFO rocking chair made entirely from carbon fiber.
Ooh. It'll last forever.
Once you sit down, it just rolls around.
Looks like Transformers are real. That, or the InWin H-Tower case, is just the coolest computer gear I've ever seen.
Robot.
Meet the foldable crane, a revolution in movement, leading
That's awesome,
to faster
right there.
job
I like
completion.
that. That's practical.
Make your home easily accessible with Flex Steps, which
Now I'll turn it down
transforms
a little bit.
stairs into a platform lift.
That's kind of cool.
Using state-of-the-art computerized marine crane tech, This system boasts dry storage space and gets boats in and out of the water in under 5.
And the
Oh, I
next
thought it
flood
was. I
year
thought
is
it was like little toys. I didn't realize it was full size boat.
yeah, it's awesome though.
That
There's
makes
some of these
sense.
things that are cool.
Yeah, you can build little steel tubes with holes. Yeah, that makes sense. It's like a trailer, like little trailers that just lift. Yeah, you just have like little trailers that you can just pick up with a little arm. That makes sense.
You don't have to go
They do that
dry
with
dock
boats
your
already,
boat.
so it makes sense that they would have done it with boats. Yeah, I don't see why they'd do that because most people buy land, and when they buy a boat, they usually have a land and a place to put it. They don't usually store it somewhere.
Yeah, but this is for the everyman. This is for Joe. This is for the
Some dummy that wants to spend 500,000 to $1 billion on a fucking boat and then never use it. Whatever. We got a whole dude. I've seen. You go to the nearest fucking storage place, you see all these RVs that never get fucking used, bro. I go over there every weekend and look at all those RVs and think to myself, they never leave. They never go anywhere. They sit there 9 months out of the year and do nothing. And these people pay house payments on these fucking garbage things that are made out of aluminum and plastic, bro. And they fall apart before they ever get use out of them. Yeah. And then they end up selling them later and losing half their money on, or more than half of the money. It's just ridiculous. They're like worthless to me. I don't know why anybody would want to buy one of those crappy things, unless it was like
I'll be
outright
right
and it
back.
was cheap.
Micro's messing up.
RVs are a waste of money. The engines aren't worth the shit in them. They don't
Well, they
put Rolls-Royce engines in them. I mean, if they did, then we would never have to buy another motor for it. But no, they don't. They got to put some crappy Chevy in there, crappy Ford or something. They never want to put a good engine in there. It's always some garbage, bro.
Well, General Motors actually made a decent camper back in the '80s. There was a couple of
son. Otherwise, the American way can't become what it is. Make sure the fucking rich get richer and the poor get poorer.
Yeah.
The rule.
Well, I'm gonna go through the video again. I just had to stop it. I was thinking about the flood, and if the flood hit again, we could have these dry dock boats and we could escape. We'll get away from the flood.
You're gonna get them out of the fucking thing.
Yeah, no. By the time it'll be too late.
Yeah. They'd have to be out in the open. That's what I'm saying. If they're tied to the dock and they're not tied to where when they rise in water, most people loop the rope over there. They don't tie the rope down to where it has to stay. They cleat it to where it can be hooked. So if the tide rises too much, the boat will unhook itself. You know what I'm saying? From one rope, and there's another rope that's there to take over in case that happens. But most people don't even think about that. But you would think that if you're in the ocean, there's going to be a tide. You tie the rope too tight, you don't leave enough slack, the tide rises and your boat it'll yank the dock right out of the water. It'll sink your boat. You're literally sinking your boat with a stupid rope. It's insane.
I'm gonna end here in a minute, but I'm gonna go to the restroom right quick.
Thank you, Roger, for warning us. Roger's gonna go 2 splits and a splash, or whatever the hell they call it. 2 plops and a splash. It's bedtime, Roger.
It's bedtime, you said? Oh, did this word take off and go to bed?
I don't know.
He said he had to go do something. That's what he said. We've been on 2.5 hours. I should have never brought rocketry up in the conversation with Jesse. I didn't know how he was going to react. But I've never had a full explanation or demonstration. I've been explained that the equations, but I want to see it in action. I'm not going to do it again.
He and I have gone over this shit many times. He doesn't probably remember. For some reason, they have this weird memory where they just forget everything that's important. Every time you teach them something, and they finally, like I've actually had a couple of these guys actually become convinced of certain things, right? But then within a couple of days, it just wears off. It's like it wears off. They just forget it. And they're like, "What are you talking about?" They act stupid. They don't know what I'm talking about.
It's amnesia, right?
Yeah, it's like it's specific.
Yeah, I'm gonna look through this.
You got the best of them. But they want to come back on and talk to you some more, so that way they can convince some more dummies to believe your bullshit. Whatever.
Yeah. I'm going to stop sharing this thing. I've already been through that before. They got me with a clickbait with the invention on the cover, but they don't show the actual invention on this thing. It's really weird.
Name one YouTube video except for that one that I sent. That's the only one that I know of that actually shows fucking invention, lays it out. Only fucking video on the internet that I know that actually supports every bit of what they fucking did in that. It explains it all. Love it. Like one of the greatest. What a documentary.
I think this works back.
They don't agree with us about space and all that, but it doesn't matter to me. I'm thinking about things, all that. And I don't think it has anything to do with Tesla.
Scott's
I think
funny.
Tesla probably did exist, but I think Tesla was, he was the one that was there to spread it out to everybody. He wasn't the real act. He wasn't the real inventor. The real inventor was snatched up and put somewhere. You know, let you go out. Come on, man. Think about it.
Well, the idea is instead of like dwelling on the past, in my opinion, would be like move forward and just take what you can get out of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't sit still.
Right.
Hey, this works back.
Oh.
Yeah. Don't get stagnant.
Well, I don't see the point. Once you know that that's the way they are,
I love inventions, man.
And I feel the same way about some of the flat earthers too. Same way. You know, like
Well, there's a lot of bullheaded people out there, dude.
live stream, and then as soon as you come off the live stream, it's like you never existed. Like really weird how they treat people. They all do it. They all
No,
do
it's
it. All do.
it's Ryan who's cutting in and out. It's not the mic.
Yeah. He just backs off of it. He doesn't realize it's a directional mic.
I'm far away.
It is cutting in and out, Ryan. We can hardly hear you now.
You want me to turn it up so you can hear me good? Okay, you got it.
Yeah.
No,
Now you
it's
can
just
hear me now. Do you hear me now,
Oh, yeah.
sir?
Yeah, that's beautiful.
You'll hear me, can't you? I can hear you.
I can hear you now. You're a lot clearer than you were.
There you
People
go.
want to hear what you got to say, Ryan.
What?
People want to hear
Nobody
what you
wants
have
to hear what I
to
have to say.
Yeah.
I mean, you know,
Yeah.
it's
I think Scott want to hear what you have to say. He's
Yeah,
commenting
Scott's
on your mic. That's why.
Yeah.
That's why I said it. Oh yeah.
Ooh, we got another one. I want to look at it right quick, guys.
He's keeping up with me. That's about, Scott's in here laughing. He's probably laughing at me the whole time, going, "Yeah, I've been through that. Yep. He said yes."
Yeah.
I'm just in a bad mood. It's nothing against anybody. I'm not really angry. I'm just fucking tired and just grumpy. They get like this.
All right. So Elon's got another one he's revealing.
You know, everybody's an asshole. Everybody knows what that's like, right?
Yeah.
It's just
Everybody has an asshole. We got one of our own. His name's Jim.
It just comes out that way.
Okay. Do you see this?
Nope.
Yep.
Elon Musk unveils a UFO fighter
it's
jet that defies physics.
It's
Here's
fake.
another one. Yeah,
It's another fakey. Looks like a big penis. Yeah, I believe it. It must be real. Oh, look, it's a triangle. Oh, I bet that's gonna really be awesome. Triangle.
In a surprising turn of events, the Israel-Hamas conflict is now overshadowed by major technological news.
Is it?
As Israel and its allies reveal their new
Sure.
advanced fighter jets with amazing
Sure they
capabilities and advanced features, Elon Musk's SpaceX makes headlines for something entirely different.
Oh,
launching
yeah.
a UFO
Zip.
and challenging the U.S. government. This
UFO
new UFO
ball
has
sack.
sparked global curiosity,
Let's see it.
raising questions about
Fake,
its
dude.
technology
They use
and its
lasers.
I wanna see
potential
it.
impact on
Fake.
the
I
conflict.
want to see it.
What makes this
Hey,
UFO
you're never gonna
so
see
It's
it.
gotta
It
be
doesn't
real.
exist.
How would
Did
it
you
be
see
used
that
in
one
the
they just
Israel-Hamas
showed?
Real
conflict?
fucking
Yeah.
the real
Join
fucking.
one they
us as
just
we
showed
unveil the
looked like a
capabilities of
pyramid
Elon
eye.
Musk's
It's fake
UFO
as
fighter
fuck.
jet that defies physics.
It's all fun.
It defies physics, though. Here
Under
we go.
Elon Musk, SpaceX has made
It
great
defies
strides
physics
in
because
space technology
physics don't
with
work
3
like
key
that.
rockets.
So where would you
The
get
Falcon
this?
1,
Is just like the same
SpaceX's
shit with
first
the
rocket,
space station.
was a
Same
breakthrough
all
as
that
it
bullshit.
became the
It doesn't
first
can't
privately
be
funded
true. It can't.
liquid-fueled
Don't
rocket to
ruin
reach
it,
orbit.
Brian.
Although it was retired in
You gotta go with the
2009
plot.
after
I love
5
it.
launches,
I love it.
its success
Oh,
set the
no.
groundwork for SpaceX's future.
Now check that
The
out.
Falcon 9,
Just
a
another
medium
man
lift
to make you
rocket,
drool.
has
To go,
become
oh, look,
essential
it
for
could be
space.
true. Maybe someday we
Capable
will
of
go to
carrying up
space.
to 22,800 kilograms of
You gotta
payload.
keep the dream alive, sir.
First
Gotta
launched
keep
in
the dream alive.
2010,
We'll never go to
it has
space
been
because it's
updated over
fucking
time
water.
with the Falcon Block 5 introduced
Want to go
in
swimming? Go for it.
2018.
But you're not going to
A
space.
major innovation of the Falcon 9 is its reusable first stage,
Now look at this.
which can
Here we go.
land, be recovered,
There it is.
Right.
and
On a
Oh,
floating
yeah.
platform that
SpaceX
doesn't
introduced
move
the
a bit
Falcon
while
Heavy,
that huge
a powerful
rocket is
rocket that
slowing
can carry
itself
up to
down on top.
63,800
Yeah, that's Russ is
kilograms
being pressure
into
fired.
low Earth orbit, or 26,700 kilograms into
And
a
there
high
goes
orbit.
your sperm.
Sure it
Its
does.
first
Off
mission
into
in
the air.
2018 famously
No problem.
sent
We'll
Elon
get it to
Musk's
space.
Tesla
Look at there.
Roadster into
We got
space,
big rockets.
showing off the rocket's
It
impressive
has to be real
capabilities.
because it looks so
Looking
fake.
ahead, SpaceX is developing Starship, a fully
Good night.
reusable rocket system.
Are you
It
going to
includes
bed?
the Super Heavy first stage
Night-
and the
night, Brian.
Starship's second stage,
Yeah.
and
I'm
is
gonna end this
designed
in
to
the
be
next
more
10
advanced than
minutes.
current rockets, aiming for missions
They're,
to the
they're,
Moon,
they're
Mars,
feeding me
and
with a
beyond.
No,
lot
you're
of
not.
SpaceX shit.
SpaceX
No, you're not.
also
Yeah,
makes various
Yeah,
That's why I'm
rocket
going
engines,
now
such
because
as
I
the
know you're
Merlin,
going to drag it on as
Kestrel,
long as you can.
and
No, I'm not.
Raptor. The Raptor engine, which uses liquid oxygen and methane,
Oh, here we go.
is
Liquid
especially
oxygen
important for
and
powering the
methane.
Starship system.
Think
Also,
about this.
SpaceX's
Liquid
Dragon spacecraft, which
oxygen.
transports cargo and
Yeah, I know.
astronauts to the International
Liquid
Space
oxygen.
Station, has advanced
Pete
with the
and
new
Pete drugged
Dragon
me through
2
that
rocket.
shit when I first
This
got here.
updated
There's really no
spacecraft
such
completed
thing.
its first crewed flight in
That's not
2020,
explosive.
helping keep people aboard the ISS.
That wouldn't
just
burn
electrolytes
Besides
in
the
the
Falcon,
concentrate.
son. No.
Elon Musk
It
has
wouldn't
also
burn a hole
developed
right through that
something
fucking
magnificent.
little tiny
In
ass,
the midst of
thin ass
chaos,
metal fucking
Elon
thing.
Musk's
Supposedly
bold
jetting
approach
all that
While
has
everybody
led
in
to
the
the
chat
creation
was
of a
trying
real
to listen to
UFO,
the video.
the X-1,
Yes.
closely monitored by the U.S. government. This remarkable craft, developed through years of effort and teamwork at SpaceX,
I didn't
reaches
mean
a
it like that.
hypersonic speed of 4,600 miles per hour and boasts impressive fuel efficiency.
It's
Musk's
impressive.
move
impressive.
into
It's
advanced
fun.
aerospace technology raises interesting questions about how innovation intersects with global politics and conflicts. The X-1's uniqueness extends to its groundbreaking camouflage technology, rendering it practically invisible as it glides through the sky disguised as a cloud.
Does
The
it?
Pentagon's bewilderment, initially mistaking it for a UFO and subsequently launching fighter jets in pursuit, adds a layer of suspense to this cosmic saga. Elon Musk's penchant for secrecy in the development of the X-1 triggered confusion in the Hamas camp, leaving the militants at odds with the visionary entrepreneur. What makes the X-1 so remarkable is that it is the only aircraft equipped with a
Now, I'm going to
compact
ask a question. What does a billionaire who's building rockets in the U.S. have to do with Hamas's militant groups? Where is the connection?
Hmm.
Anybody got it? Do you know where the connection is? What does it have to do with them at all?
Give us the answer in the chat.
They did? Nada?
Okay. That
I
sounds
don't know.
like, the same as NASA. Nada.
Yeah, I know.
And it
It
means
is
the
nada,
same.
dude.
Well, they give us the same.
Yeah. So why do they tie this in the space race into politics? I don't get it.
Nope.
Don't understand that at all. No. Oh well, I'm done with that because I don't see him building a UFO and confusing the militaries without them knowing about it. It's just one of those things. I think it's a made up story like the rest of it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna play a song and get out of this room and go to sleep. I got to work tomorrow.
Yep.
But I did enjoy the last 2.5 hours. It was fun.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I'm also dead tired.
Dead tired. How do you get dead tired?
Wow. It is very hard, It's something you practice.
It's something you practice. You should practice thing. Dead tired.
Yeah. It's when most people would be out strong, out cold, and you are going, and you're still
Out
going
strong.
strong.
Oh. Slip of the tongue. He's out strong.
Oh yeah.
So if I bring Jesse back on, it's going to turn into a physics argument, and he already told me flat out that I was denying the laws of physics. I'm like, no, I'm not.
Why you do
I
that,
don't
Raj?
know. I didn't even bring him up. He did. He brought up the equation. Force times mass equals acceleration. It's not that practical in nature. None of the shit is. I think that's what it is, and I've heard this explained before several times over that a lot of these space heads, they don't like natural things. Yeah. They hate the natural world. They want to get out of it. Yeah.
They don't even want to be natural. They want to be a cyborg.
Mm-hmm. But it would be cool to be a cyborg, wouldn't it?
Yeah, you can have the choice within this lifetime, you know.
Well, obviously they're presenting it like you can actually physically do it. You know, I can integrate my consciousness in with uh, robotics and circuitry.
Yeah.
That's
Or you can
impossible.
just have a very well produced Neuralink chip in your brain that gives you access to everything.
I don't have to do anything. Just access it in my mind. I can actually mentally push buttons and actually make things happen. Right?
Yeah, you don't even have to move anymore.
Yeah. You should become a blob.
You can just you can just watch every camera and everything, you know, from at home.
Yeah, why not? I'm going with it. No, not really.
Just watch out for the Trojans, the AI
The
Trojans that
Trojans,
takes over your brain.
the AI Trojans, the Trojan programs that are going to come in and turn you into a real zombie.
Yeah.
Yes, master.
Then you start to bite.
Oh no, I don't want to see that happen. Got rabies.
You bite with both I and Y.
I love the natural world too much to turn my back on it. So I'm going to
Yeah.
take what I got. Yeah.
Yeah,
And it's amazing as it is, isn't it? Don't you agree? The natural world, the things you can't explain, make it more. Mm, I, it's been, I know it's been explored, and I would love to
yeah.
explore more. People don't get the chance to. They're more caught up in the politics and the TV shows and stuff they watch to actually go out and explore the things that are in our world.
Yeah, there's some areas I would like to go to which we are not allowed to, and which probably, you know, if we ask someone, doesn't have any land there, you know. But I think there's land there. There's so many places I would like to go.
Yeah. Well, I've literally started exploring what I can explore, and I have to a point. Like even the neighborhood I'm in and the surrounding mountains and ranges and stuff. I used to before I got married and stuff. I actually went out and climbed mountains, camped, explored the
Yeah.
neighboring. Yeah, there's nothing wrong
The
with that.
most, the most I've done is living in Thailand for some years, uh, and just exploring the country and living there and stuff. But that's a
So
nice place and nice nature and nice mountains to check out. And
yeah, yeah. There's a whole other different. Did you go through culture shock when you moved to Thailand?
no, not because I had been there already on holiday for more times, but the first time I came there, yes.
Nice.
The
Yeah,
first
that's
time
what
I
I'm
was
saying.
there, it was a shock because of how everything was and how the women were, you know, in the nightlife. That was weird for me the first
Yeah,
time
but
as a younger teen.
I get that part, but I mean, like, they still do things traditionally ways over there. They have a whole different tradition, lifestyle, than the rest, right?
But I like that. I like the nature over there
So where are you now, this Lord?
in Denmark.
Denmark. Oh, okay. So you went. That's like a complete different world, dude. You had to. That would actually throw me back. You know, like going to Denmark would be a change for me. I've been stateside most of my life. I've only been close to Canada and Mexico. I've done more traveling on this continent than anywhere else.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
gonna
but
play this song and get out of here. You ready?
yep.
All right, here we go. Well, that was a great song. I like it. I don't know about you. I enjoyed it. This Lord, how do you feel? Are you still here? Or are you?
On mute.
Right.
Yeah,
Say goodnight to everybody.
That one was not bad at all.
No. They do some good work. I may not agree with their philosophy or whatnot, but they make good music.
Yeah.
The American metal is a phenomenon in the last 2 decades, compared to what it was in the 70s, even. But I don't, park on metal as like the best music in the world. But some of it is decent.
Yeah. There's always levels.
And why do we have music to begin with? What does music do for anybody? Well, you have music, to calm your nerves, to
To level you out.
set a mood. Yeah. And we're all level, especially Scott. All right. Well, good night. I'm going to sit down the show. Enjoyed it.
Yep. Me too.
And good night for everybody else.
Good night out there.